On a rainy night in November just 5 years ago, two teams squared off at Coach Jordan Lynch's former home turf, NIU's Husky Stadium. Lynch secured his first state championship as a head coach, and the Caravan have celebrated that win by getting two more pieces of hardware since then. The Nazareth Roadrunners have had a little party of their own, as both programs are currently back-to-back state championships in their respective classes. Say hello to Week 3. Welcome back to Barta Dowling Stadium, and please help us set the scene for the 2019 7A State Championship rematch. Ladies and gentlemen, Caravan fans, I am your play-by-play announcer and the voice of the Caravan, Matt Malloy, joined here with my good friend Christos Demas. Christos, how are we doing today?
I'm feeling great. It's a great time to play football, great Friday night that we're going to be having, and I just can't wait for this rematch between two storied teams in the Catholic League.
This is going to be, a great. They're a recent program in climbing the ranks to become a powerhouse, right? They went to state the first time in 2014. They won that game. We'll dive deep a little later into their state championship success, but the Caravan, they've been successful for decades, man. So it's really a story of, the new young guns versus the guys that have been at this stage for a while. So right now we're going to take a break from talking about the Roadrunners and the Caravan, and we're going to head in onto our kind of new segment. Second time we've ever done this. Our 2 cents. Leonard, cue it up, please. Thank you. Well, the first game we've got here, Christos, is the number 9 St. Francis Spartans. They're 2-0 going up against number 4 Loyola Ramblers. The Ramblers are 1-1. Not many people expected that. I know, Christos, you called it out that East St. Louis would win Week 1, and they did. They 34-7. And to be honest, even though the Ramblers had a big game last week, they won by, a pretty big margin. I still think they're trying to rebound off of that Week 1 loss. It's tough to go up against another powerhouse in the state, especially at a neutral site, and lose big. I think if they win this game against the Spartans, though, the number 9 ranked Spartans, it'll kind of solidify themselves as they're still in the run for that 8A state championship. So I'm taking the Ramblers over the number 9 Spartans.
Yeah, man, I'm going to have to agree with you. Loyola, if they lose one more game, they're in jeopardy of not being able to win the Catholic League. So they're going to have to compete. They're going to have to win every game here on out to be able to compete for that number 1 spot in the Catholic League and to get, a high seed still in IHSA. If they come in with 2 losses, even 3 losses, that, puts them down significantly more.
Right. High school football, everybody makes it. It just kind of depends on where you fall out in that bracket. So I still think the Ramblers are going to win this week. They're going to improve to 2-1, and St. Francis, is going to suffer their first loss of the season. Moving on to our second game, it's rivalries, man. You gotta love them. Marist took down the Crusaders last week. They are now 1-1. The Mustangs are going to head down to Pulaski to play Brother Rice. Both teams are 1-1. St. Rita had that big win Week 1, but then fell to the Caravan 28-0. Fourth meeting between those two teams, but this one is also a big rivalry. It's Catholic League. Both of these guys are, either in the CCL Blue right now or they were in past years, and St. Rita just moved down to the CCL Green this year. So I think if the Mustangs are able to pull off this upset against the Crusaders, it will show that they have not only earned their spot, but they deserve to be in the CCL Blue. However, I don't think so. I think the Crusaders are going to stop the Mustangs in their place. They're going to hand them their second loss in a row and on the season. I think the Crusaders are going to bounce back from that big loss to the Red Hawks from Marist, and the Mustangs are going to fall.
Yeah, Matt, I have to agree. 2 big rivalry games, Carmel, Rita, and Marist, Rice. But I think right now Rice has the better offense.
Yeah.
Both have solid defenses, especially St. Rita. But when it comes to winning the games, you do have to score.
Yes.
Rita's going to have some issues early on this season. I think they'll eventually pick it up, but I got Rice in this one.
Yeah, I agree with that. Moving on to the third game, another Catholic League matchup. The IC Catholic Knights taking on the St. Ignatius Wolfpack. Christos, I've got Iggy with this one. They're 1-1 right now. The Catholic Knights are only 1-0. They've only played 1 game so far, a little bit off schedule. Ignatius left the CCL Green. Now they're in the blue with the Caravan, the Ramblers, and the Crusaders. And I think this is just going to be kind of an easy win. They're going to roll right over the Knights, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you, Matt. I think Ignatius is going to take the win, and we'll look at it later. But as of right now, Ignatius is first in CCL Blue. Talk about that in a bit.
Yeah. I mean, IC Catholic, They won state in 2022 with a 13-1 record, but I think their offense mainly has diminished since then. So yeah, Wolfpack, they're gonna win this one. Moving on, fourth game for our 2 cents. It's the Mount Prospect Knights taking on the New Trier Trevians. 0-2 going up against 1-1. I've got New Trier for this one, Christos. Prospect hasn't had a losing season since 2018, which is pretty rare for a mid-suburban East team. But man, Prospect won last year 24-20. So New Trier, they want to take back that loss they suffered last year to the Knights. Give me New Trier.
I'm going to go with Prospect on this one, Matt. I think just in the last 5 or so years, Prospect has shown themselves as a strong, recurring team, especially deep in the playoffs. So I'm going to take them.
Yeah. Moving on, fifth game we've got here for our 2 cents. The Glenbard West Hilltoppers are 0-2, taking on the number 5, fifth-ranked team in the state, the Downers Grove North Trojans. They're 2-0. We put this one up here because it could be a big upset, but I don't think it's going to be. I think Downers Grove North is going to take the win. They're 2-0. They're the 7A runner-ups to us. And they got to get the ball rolling. They already have. They're 2-0. They won their first 2 games, and I think it's just going to keep going. They're going to take down the Hilltoppers. It's going to be a great outcome for them, especially on their home turf.
Yeah, man, I got to agree. They got to next year.
Yeah.
So obviously big things with that offense. Though I think Glenbard West could put up a fight. They just played Loyola not too long ago, and I think they do have some experience. So it could be a tough game.
Yeah, Glenbard West lost this matchup 31-0 last year, so I think the Trojans have it in the bag. Moving on, sixth game, JCA taking on Fenwick Friars at Triton College, which is where Fenwick plays their home games. Fenwick is 2-0 right now. JCA 1-1. The Hilltoppers from Joliet, bit of a rough week, bit of a rough game last week. They got shut out by Oswego. 17-0 was that final score. And JCA, man, they're looking to just have a really big push in recent years. They used to be a powerhouse in past years. They've had a couple of ups and downs, but man, they're looking for another big season. And if they want this to be that season, they've got to take down the Friars, right? The undefeated Friars from Fenwick. I think Fenwick's got this one. I don't think JCA is going to improve to 2-1. They had an embarrassing loss last week. I just mentioned Fenwick is coming off an electric 34-24 victory over the Wolfpack from St. Ignatius. Give me Fenwick.
Yeah, man, I'm going to have to agree with you. I got Fenwick on this one. I think they're just building a lot of steam off of last year. They played a lot of tough games. When we played them, it was a weird game at 21-9. Fenwick's defense is very good. Got a lot of good D1 players, too, so I'm going to get them.
Yeah, JCA is the 5A runner-ups. Fenwick has nothing to lose, though, so that's why I just got to take the Friars. Friars from Fenwick, excuse me.
There you go.
Last matchup we've got for our 2 cents. The number 1 East St. Louis Flyers will not be playing a team from Illinois this week. They are taking on the Imhotep Charter Panthers, team from Pennsylvania, and right now they are 3-0, while the Flyers are 2-0. 2 undefeated teams going up against each other. Obviously, I had to do some research on the Panthers. I didn't know much about them. I still think the Flyers are going to pull off and come back from Pennsylvania with a win. I think the Flyers are just on an incredible roll, what it seems, right? The team that they're putting out on the field this year looks very different from last year. Even though last year they had a very successful season, even though they lost in the state championship, man, I think they're gunning for a victory this one. They're gunning for a ring, and they're trying to solidify themselves with the likes of Loyola and Mount Carmel to truly be one of the best powerhouses in Illinois.
Yeah, Matt, I think they got something to prove after last year, after taking it out of Carmel, after taking it out in the state championship. Yeah. So they got a chip on their shoulder this whole season, and I think they're just pushing through. They're going to win this one.
Yeah, they're going to come back home with a victory. They're playing a bit of a national schedule this year. Not so far, only 3 games. This is their second one. They beat a team from Georgia last week. So that's all we've got for our 2 cents right now. We're going to head into some ads for some things, clubs we've got here around Mount Carmel. And then after that, we'll head into our statistics slideshow. See you then. They've gone back-to-back in 2022 and 2023. Sounds pretty familiar, doesn't? The Caravan are on a roll as well. Both teams are back-to-back state champions in their respective classes. Nazareth 5A, Mount Carmel 7A. This is going to be a great matchup. Right now, though, we're going to head into some statistics we found from the past 2 weeks. We had some incredible games against the Hun School of Princeton and St. Rita. Ladies and gentlemen, it is week 3 of the 2024 season. Tonight we've got our first 7:30 kickoff here at Barta Dowling Stadium. We're back to Friday night lights at home. It's September 13th, 2024, Friday the 13th. Let's hope nothing too scary happens tonight, and I'm kind of talking upsets here. The Caravan are 1-1, the Roadrunners are 2-0, but the Caravan are ranked just a bit higher than the Roadrunners for the best teams in Illinois. Like we mentioned so many times so far, this is a 2019 state championship rematch. Coach Jordan Lynch, it's where he got his first one as a coach, and for a lot of these players, it was a bit of a revival for Mount Carmel football. But before this, the last time the Caravan won state was in 2013, and I know a 6-year gap doesn't seem like that much at other schools, but at Mount Carmel, it seems a little bit like what happened in that time, Luckily, Coach Lynch was able to pull the program back in, and we competed against a lot of great schools. You see, we've got J.J. McCarthy here. He's off playing for the Vikings now. I guess play isn't a great word, not this season so much.
Yeah.
But there were so many electric plays, some great players from that game. Christos, what do you got to say about this rematch from 5 years ago?
Both teams, there was a grit match. It was a pouring rain. I remember going to those games, though, early on in the season to watch the Caravan play. So many good players, Justin Lynch, Kanana Odaluga, who's an inside linebacker at U of I now. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
But truly just two storied teams here in the Catholic League.
Yeah, it was a great game back then, right before that, kind of weird COVID season. So Illinois high school football has changed a lot in these past 5 years. And, but we're just going to focus on tonight's game. Here's how the Caravan have done so far offensively here. We've got 9 total touchdowns. Quarterback Jack Elliott has 6 with 3 rush and 3 pass. And, DT's got 3. Quentin Burrell has 2. And Alan McCoy has 1. A pretty big play from that Hun game, the season opener. Christos, we've got a little over 200 rushing yards, averaging almost 4 per attempt, which is great. But our kryptonite seems to be third down. 39% conversion rate. We're 9 for 23. That's definitely worse than past years, especially 2 years ago when we went 14-0. So I think if you're looking to see how the Caravan can improve tonight offensively, it's got to be on third down, man. Yeah, 58% pass completion rate from Jack, though, so we're doing good on the pass game. Defensively, Christos, how we doing?
Well, we got 3 interceptions returned for 53 yards. That's an average of about 18 yards on each return. Barons, Payne, and Gorman all have 1. That brings Payne's total career now to 8 interceptions, I believe. So he's moving up the ranks in leaderboards for interceptions for the Caravan. And we also got 3 sacks for 25 yards. We got Muha, Quinn, and Igwebuke. I remember Quinn when he got to the Hun quarterback, Jack Moran. The guy's helmet went flying off. Quinn is a huge pickup at junior and D lineman. And the opponents are 0 for 6 on 4th down. That's a huge stat, Matt. The D line is dominant for the Caravan.
Yeah, I look back. The first time the Caravan had to stop an opponent on 4th down this season was against the Raiders at Hun. Javi Payne came up with a huge play, ran to the sideline, and Coach Swanson just took his helmet and banged it into his head about 3 or 4 times. And that's when I knew that it was going to be the defense that was going to be electric this year. And they especially were last week against St. Rita. A shutout, right? A shutout in a rivalry game. It's the 104th game between these 2 rival schools, and you shut them out. It's awesome to see. So thanks to the likes of all, 6 guys on here, the defense has just remained dominant from last year. Second time's the charm. We keep talking about that 2019 game. This is only the second time the Roadrunners and Caravan have played. Nazareth, they haven't lost a game since October 10th, 2023, because they opened 0-4 last year. They are the first team to win state with 5 losses. Yep, they went 9-5, still won the 5A state championship over JCA, who the Caravan will eventually play in Week 7 in the Carmelite Classic. That's going to be a huge one, Christos. We can't wait to call that one. But yeah, like we said before, they've been down to state 7 times, even though the first time was in 2014. So they're really looking to make a run for themselves here, and if they upset the Caravan, it's going to be a really big season for the Roadrunners, especially after going back-to-back. Yeah. Here comes the Caravan, your Week 3 key players. We're going to start off here with JB8, senior wide receiver and DB. He's got 8 total tackles, 4 of them being solo, 1 interception for 5 yards, and 2 PBUs. He had an incredible game last week against St. Rita's wide receiver core. He had a couple of huge defensive stops, so we're really looking to see him as a senior leader on this defense and just keep the ball rolling. Christos, what about in the offensive side of things, though?
Well, you can't look at the offense and forget about number 4, Q, Quentin Burrell. He's a sophomore up on varsity, and he's dominating. He's got 11 receptions for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, just making an impact immediately on the varsity team here, and I can't wait to see what we have in store for the rest of the season with him.
Definitely, yeah. And, fellow wide receiver number 5, Cooper Lehman, he's a transfer from Neuqua Valley, but he has solidified himself as a receptions, 87 yards. He hasn't found the end zone yet, but I have a strong feeling in the next 3 weeks, these next 3 home games, he'll Jack will throw him one up in there. So he moves the chains though, right? They go to Cooper if they want a first down. Now it's time for Xander Gorman, number 27, safety and tight end. Some senior year stats. He has 1 interception so far for 25 yards. That was against the receptions. The Hun Raiders got us downfield and back into the red zone. Great play for Xander in that season opener. He's a senior captain on the team, right? He's a locker room leader. He has 12 total tackles. He's all over the place, Christos. And you know what? All over the place, hustling, working, that's what's going to get you the honor to wear number 27. Christos, you actually are writing an article about this for the school newspaper right now. Can you tell us a little bit more about what it means to wear number 27?
Yeah, well, Matt, Xander's returning as his 2nd year with the number. Obviously, it started with Mr. Bill Nolan in 1985. If you wear the number, you're gritty, you work hard, and you're consistent. That's Xander. He's a great teammate, great leader, and I just can't wait to see what he does against Nazareth.
Definitely, yeah. Christos, what about your statistic of the game? This one might hurt a little bit for me. I am a Notre Dame fan.
Well, let's take it back to 2019 in the state game against Nazareth. Justin Lynch tied the single-game Caravan rushing touchdown record when he had 5 rushing touchdowns in the 2019 state game against Nazareth. I believe that's also an IHSA record, but also pretty important. NIU upsets Notre Dame in a phenomenal game, Matt.
Yeah.
I was rooting for NIU on that one, even though I am an Irish fan. Great game to watch.
CCL Blue update. Ignatius is in first place. I don't know how that happened. They're new to the CCL Blue, but they found themselves in first place. Every single team on here is 1-1, and technically by points scored and opponents' wins, Loyola's in last. I know this is going to change over the next few weeks, but it's just very interesting to look at 2 weeks in. Looking ahead, our upcoming conference games next week, home against Ignatius, and then we're away at Brother Rice week 6, and of course week 9, bet we come back home against Loyola. JCA, though, is definitely a big one on there that sticks out to me for week 7. So this has been the pregame show presented to you by your Caravan Broadcast Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got a great game coming up very soon for you guys. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Caravan fans, welcome back to Barta Dowling Stadium here at Mount Carmel High School. The student section is partying it up down there by the east end zone. Christos, how are we doing tonight, man?
Matt, the boys are buzzing. It's frat theme in the student section, and everybody's looking the part. I can hear everyone here. All I got to say is I got goosebumps right now, Matt. This is a long-awaited matchup that we've had circled on the calendar for a long time.
Christos, the first and only time these two schools have played each other on the gridiron was back in 2019. The stakes were a lot higher back then because it was for the 7A state championship. We all know the Caravan took that dub, and we're hoping they're going to take another one tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Barta Dowling Stadium at Carey Field for tonight's matchup featuring the Nazareth Academy Roadrunners and your Caravan of Chicago, Mount Carmel. We hope you enjoy your visit to campus. The Caravan would like to thank Verdoliak Law for being the presenting sponsor of tonight's game. We thank them for their continued support of Mount Carmel football. Ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask that you please rise and remove all hats as prayers will be offered tonight by Father Mike O'Keefe, Mount Carmel graduate of the class of 1965.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our guests from Nazareth Academy. Please join us in a prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, it's Friday the 13th. And while a lot of people get wrapped up in the superstition of the date, we as a Catholic community are the conviction that we are in the hands of a gracious, benevolent God. We are in your hands, Lord. And the signals of your presence are all around us. We have this magnificent evening and the beauty of your gift of creation to enjoy with family and friends tonight. On and around this field are young people of extraordinary and varied talents. And we give thanks that you invest that goodness in them. Both our schools are staffed by teachers and coaches who are devoted to bringing all of their potential to the surface, to help them to be the authentic human beings you create them to be. And most especially, we are in the presence of parents who take very seriously your call to take care of your little ones. They sacrifice to make a great education available to their kids, and then 24/7, they're on the job to invite and challenge these young people. Bless all of our efforts, Lord. Conduct us home safely tonight after a great game. We pray through Christ our Lord, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Lady of Mount Carmel.
Thank you, Father Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, please continue to remain standing to honor America and join in the playing of our national anthem.
I am very excited that this one is a home game, man. That game back in 2019, I didn't go to it. It was a rainy night, and I used to go to all the games with my grandpa, so he decided not to go to that one. We stayed home and watched, but man, what an electric feel. You know, I know when we were pretty young, like 2012, 2013, they had a couple of chips, but that was really the first one I truly remember. And, man, it's going to be a little bit of nostalgia, you know, remembering playing the Roadrunners 5 years ago. And, yeah, man, I'm excited for a great game, but, man, this student section is a whole lot more excited than I am.
Yeah, Matt, I mean, kind of the same as you. I went to almost every game that 2019 season. That was kind of my exposure to Carmel. I remember my dad was our Sutherland basketball coach in 6th grade. He would bring us the whole team to all the games. And
I love that.
But, yeah, like you said, student section is awesome tonight. You know, we probably got 100 kids.
Yeah, man.
All in their frat gear.
There we go.
According to the theme, so it's good.
You know, I thought about putting a polo on and a backwards hat, but I decided to keep it professional tonight. You know, we only get 6 regular season games that I get to announce, so I figured I might as well dress up a little bit for it. So, yeah, maybe next time I'll throw on the polo, but not tonight, folks.
I hear you, Matt. Something to note for tonight, Nico Mullen is playing. He will be our kicker. He's number 42, about to kick off.
Folks, the 2019 state championship rematch. Is off. That one. High ball returned by number 7 for the Roadrunners, Jake Sestone. Runs it out a little bit, side to side, but does not get the vertical yardage. Just going horizontally there. We're a few seconds in. The big boys coming out to play. They're going to have to stop the Nazareth offense here. Going to be interesting to see how they stop number 1, Logan Malichuk, quarterback, standing at 5'11", 186 pounds, senior for Nazareth Academy.
Yeah, Matt, you know, we'll also have to worry about number 5.
Oh, yeah.
Gabe Kaminsky, he's the tight end, but he's going to Stanford, Matt. He's their stud. So be interesting to see how this Roadrunner offense will operate tonight against the likes of Joey Quinn, against the likes of Braden Jones.
I know earlier you texted me, you said there's a Stanford scout here, and I said, oh, you know, that kind of makes sense, right? They've got a guy committed on their team. Maybe they're going to give a couple of offers to the guys here at Mount Carmel. But Nazareth right now is ranked number 6 in the state, the Caravan number 3. Malichuk going to roll out right. That ball is short. Xander Gorman, number 27, with some great coverage on that play. Christos, you actually wrote an article about him this week. I know it might not be out there yet, but it's wrapping up pretty soon. Mr. Baffa will publish that on the website. What can you tell us about Xander wearing number 27 for his second year?
You know, Matt, he's a grit and grind kind of player. He comes in an hour away from Lockport day in, day out. I'll give a little story. Ryan Gilhooly from last year gave him a number 27 chain before the Loyola game. Said, wear this like the S on Superman's chest. There we go. Ever since then, he's kind of come into his own, and he's ready. He is the number 27.
Yeah, he was our player of the week for a reason, folks. Malichuk takes the snap. They started out 5 out, brought a guy into the backfield. Whoa, a couple guys on that play. Joey Quinn came in with some explosiveness there, just dived right at him.
Matt, Quinn, you know, last time we were here was against Hunt Academy with Jack Moran. Quinn had a sack that literally took the guy's helmet off.
Oh, yeah.
Banged him up for a bit. He is, I mean, we all knew about Braden Jones, but Joey Quinn kind of came up quick on us here.
For sure. Braden Jones, I know we've said it a lot, but he only had one offer last season. That was from Akron, Ohio. Now he's got the likes of Michigan and Notre Dame calling his phone. Malichuk trips left, nobody out to the right side, one man in the backfield. Gonna try to get these guys off sides. Doesn't. Malichuk pass out to the left. Woo! Through the hands. It's gonna be incomplete. And look at who it is, Coop. Excuse me. Look who it is, Christos. Number 5 for the Caravan, Cooper Lehman.
Yeah.
Is he's registered as a receiver, and he's playing some defense for the Caravan. I love to see it.
Speed kills, Matt, especially in football.
Definitely. Yeah. He hasn't found the end zone yet, but. I don't want to jinx nothing. I think he's going to be a great player for the Caravan. I don't want to jinx nothing, y'all, but hasn't scored a touchdown yet. He's had plenty of connections with Elliott, though. A couple of first downs, just loves to move the chains. Number 4, Frankie Nichols, quarterback, kicker, and place kicker for Nazareth. Seems to be a jack of all trades. He's going to punt this one away. Lehman going to let it roll, eventually picks it up. just behind the 45-yard line, still on his feet, eventually gets tripped up by number 34 on Nazareth. That'll be Ben Lukes, Jr. for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, Matt, talk about Lehman. Doesn't have a touchdown yet, but he's averaging 10 yards per reception.
Yep.
You know, he's got 87 yards on the season. I remember last week against St. Rita, he had 2 huge third downs, 3rd and long, that he just kind of took it right down the sideline and cut into the St. Rita defense there.
Yeah, last Friday I was working the football Twitter, and I got this pretty cool video of Cooper just staying on his feet, broke a couple tackles to get the first down, and I captioned it, you know, Cooper's hungry, right? He wants those first downs. He's moving the chains at Doyle Stadium, and that's exactly what he did.
I like that caption, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, it was tough, you know. When we're up here watching the game, that one deflected away. When we're up here watching the game, it seems kind of slow. It's definitely a fast game, but, man, when I'm down there on the field trying to tweet and get captions and pictures and videos out, it's a whole different ball game. The whole game zooms by in what feels like 15 minutes almost.
Matt, that was number 11, James Penley, on the coverage there. He's the 5'10", 180 senior. Kind of went through his hands there. That was a risky pass to start out the game.
You're going to see a lot of these receivers and DBs for Nazareth are around that range, right? 5'10", 5'11", about 185, maybe 190 pounds. Elliott is just going to have to throw that one away. And the Nazareth sideline is looking for a flag, Yep,
there it is.
It's a late one. He throws it. Elliott a bit frustrated, but, you know, just going to walk back for the next play call. So, interesting to see, but the Caravan have got to get their offense going soon here. 2nd and 10, and that penalty is going to be against the Caravan. So we're only a minute and a half in, and things are already at a stalemate almost, I'd say.
Already a yellow thing.
Already a yellow thing.
Number 9. On the offense, pass did not go past the line of scrimmage outside the box. It did not go past the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, spot of the foul, and we have lost it down, 3rd down.
Okay. Caravan are going to move back. It's going to be still figuring out. I believe he said loss it down, which, yes, it should be. Yeah.
Well, interesting way to start the game as they keep moving back.
Okay, they're not stopping. So that's got to be,
Whew. 2nd and forever.
Yeah, 3rd and forever.
Yep, 3rd.
3rd and 29. Elliott trips left, one man out to his right. DT in his backfield. Jack takes a snap. Whoa. DT stays on his feet, punches right through the defensive line, gets the first down and a little more. The Caravan moving the chains with senior running back and captain Daniel Taylor Jr.
Now, Matt, I'm not trying to say anything, but, you know, we had a guy kind of like that last year in Darian Dupree, and that showed a flash of Dupree right there. DT, not as fast, not as agile, but, man, he's strong. You know, he played tight end last year in his sophomore year. And, you know, you saw right there down the sideline or at the chain, he was looking for that contact right into number 0 there.
Yeah, Dupree was smooth. DT is just aggressive, I'd say. Both styles are, you know, they have their positives and negatives, pros and cons. But another yellow thing. Hopefully that's against Naz.
Almost looked like a horse collar there, Matt.
Yeah.
Don't want to jinx myself here, but
They fed Daniel the rock on that play again. Figure, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Just about to say that myself.
Five-yard face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty enforced from the end of the play, past the line to gain. 1st down.
Okay. Moving the chains once again. We apologize if there's any static there. We have a couple issues with the referees' mics right now. We're going to do the best with what we've got. Elliott sets his offense. Takes a snap. It's going to be a pass downfield. Does he got it? Yes, he does. Cooper Lehman all over the place tonight so far. We're not even 2 minutes into the game, and he's already made a huge stop on defense and a big play on offense.
Well, Matt, that'll bring Lehman's reception. That'll be a 20-yard reception, so it'll be hovering at around 110 yards for the season. Like we said, just an explosive player who kind of gives those big plays. Hasn't had a touchdown yet. We'll see, though, as the Caravan are now in the red zone.
Yeah, transfer from Neuqua Valley, but 2 weeks in, he's already looking to be a key point and vital player for the Caravan offense and defense, I guess, like we just saw. This one a handoff right up the middle. Dog pile. He's going to keep moving up. Caravan are in the red zone for the first time tonight, and things are looking their way.
You know, Matt, when I was talking to Xander earlier this week, you know, we see him on both sides of the ball wearing that number 27. He said a guy that really stands out to him is number 29, Stephen Winkler. He kind of reminds him of himself. They both play both sides of the ball, but he really thinks he could be that grit guy for next year as we see him out there right now.
I love it, yeah. Winkler would definitely be the guy. Pass out to the left, a little too far, going to be incomplete. 3rd and 4. They're at the 7-yard line.
Something to note coming into this game, the Caravan are just about 40% on 3rd downs.
There we go.
Little lower than the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But you know, it's been a tough first 2 games. You know, you go against a Hunt Academy with a bunch of D1, you know, D linemen, pressure all the time, and a good St. Rita defense as well.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Maybe they can change that right here. Elliott gonna roll out left. Pressure coming right away. And yeah, it's gonna be. Oh, stays on his feet, rolling back the other way.
Oh my!
Elliott, does he have the angle?
I don't think
he's short. They're calling him short. No.
Man,
oh my God, what a play though. That reminds me of like Madden Mobile or something. He just avoided all the tackles on the left sideline, decided to just run it over to the right.
Matt, that was like Sutherland recess football. The teacher blows the whistle, one last play, and I got to run across the whole field.
Wow. I mean, that's why he's playing in the SEC, right? Just didn't give up. Stayed on his feet, rolled out right. Didn't get the touchdown, but still, it's now 1st and goal. They're at the 2-yard line. Elliott. Hand off.
He's in.
Easy. DT, touchdown for the Caravan. Mount Carmel going to take a lead 6-0 early on in the 1st quarter.
Well, Matt, that's Daniel Taylor's 4th touchdown on the year, his 4th rushing touchdown. And I believe, no, that's his 5th. I believe he has 1 receiving touchdown, 4 rushing touchdowns. He's been making a huge impact on the season early on.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're really seeing now why he was named captain.
Yeah, he keeps finding the end zone. I agree with you, Christos. I think it was a little questionable as to whether or not he would be a captain in the first place, but he's proven it for sure. That is his 4th rushing touchdown. He averages about 38 yards a game, so he's looking to just keep adding to those totals. That extra point by Nico Mullen is good. Caravan take the lead 7-0. 8 minutes, 46 seconds remain.
Iron here at Barter Dowling Stadium. Join us for a pregame gathering with food and refreshments just before the first ever Carmelite Classic. This incredible matchup will be played in honor of Joliet Catholic Academy alum and former Mount Carmel teacher Mr. Kevin Hansen. Mr. Hansen passed away in April of 2015, but left his mark on these 2 great schools. This will be a great event, and all proceeds will go to students in need of financial assistance at Joliet Catholic Academy and Mount Carmel.
Here we go. A little replay there of the touchdown. Powers his way through. Like we said at the beginning of that drive, if Dupree was smooth, DT is aggressive. That one, up and away. Fielded. Wow. Okay, pretty solid return there. Number 27 for Nazareth, Charles Calhoun, running back in DB, sophomore as well for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, Matt, as we see Nico on the kickoff there, give a shout out to our Caravan soccer team. They're on a 3-game win streak right now, just finished up, cleaned up some work last night. 8-0 against St. Rita.
Yeah.
I talk about Brandon Razzo, 5 goals. John Justic, a goal. Justic's our guy.
Man.
Starting to find their stride.
Five goals. in
By one
game.
guy.
By
Yep.
one guy.
Yep.
That's, I mean, I was at the game. I watched every single one of his goals, and still you saying that just doesn't sit right with me. That's insane. Oh, Caravan defense just going to pile on in Nazareth's backfield.
Talking about Winkler earlier, he was all over that from the
yeah.
beginning. As a few other guys came in for the assist there.
Yeah, Tristan, the sackmaster Pusateri, outside linebacker for the Caravan, got in on that one as well. But yeah,
What a
Winkler
nickname.
leading the charge. I remember, I can't remember. I think that was our freshman year is when he kind of got there, right?
Yeah,
it was
sackmaster.
It was early on when people started calling him that.
It clicks.
I believe it came from somebody reporting up-and-coming players in Illinois to look out for, and whoever was covering it decided to call him the Sackmaster in a video online. So, oh, that one is complete. A great catch. He's going to get a first down and more. That's number 2, Garrett Reese, committed to Indiana, wide receiver and DB, standing at 6'3", 180, senior for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, Matt, we saw Cooper Lehman in on that one. You know, they're kind of using him as we have some injuries on the DB, such as Gavin Conjar. Also see number 90, Derek Murray in. Strong D lineman out of Providence a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Derek. He's in leadership during my Mandarin class, so I get to see him every day. Comes in with a couple slips, couple notes, and Coach Anto makes us say, "Ni hao," "Ni hao," Derek every day, and he responds with "meow." So, pass downfield. This is a big one, complete. Number 7 for the Roadrunners is gonna score. Jake Sestone, standing at 6'1", 180, a junior receiver for Nazareth Academy. This one 7-6 with about 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Well, Matt, I think we kind of expected this. You know, the Roadrunner offense just shot right back at us. Now it's tied up early in the first.
Yeah.
We were expecting this game to be big. You know, it's number 6 Naz versus
Definitely.
us.
Definitely. Yeah. I just got to point out, number 1 quarterback for Nazareth, Logan Malachuk, quarterback. I was watching film earlier today. Matt Muha and Jake Cozy, you know, they had their laptop open as well with Huddle. And there was one play in particular, I believe last week, Malachuk rolling out of the pocket in the opposite direction of which he usually throws, off balance on one foot, and he threw the ball almost 60 yards on the fly to his receiver. And that guy went down and scored. I believe it was, number 11, James Penley, that scored that touchdown. Unbelievable. Muha will be the first one to tell you that, Malachuk is probably the best player on the team, even though they've got multiple guys such as number 5, Gabe Kaminsky, committed to Stanford, and number 2, Garrett Reese, committed to Indiana. But, man, Malachuk is just such a strong quarterback. He can play very well out of the pocket, as well as just as you saw when he's inside of it, too. So the Caravan have got to lock him down if they want to win this game, because as you saw, that was a huge pass, right? Not many quarterbacks can make that, you know, especially to downfield, right in the middle. It's tough to make it. So that was a great play by Nazareth, but hopefully the Caravan can respond with an even better one.
Well, Matt, I mean, take us back 5 years ago, and a guy who was making those kind of passes was Justin Lynch. So, I mean, there's a lot of, comparisons there. But Malachuk's, he's a small quarterback. He's quick, though.
Yeah, I think, Nazareth's first time that they ever went downstate was in 2014. And I think since then, in the, years after, it's really just been their quarterbacks that have pushed them to keep going downstate. Biggest name that comes up is J.J. McCarthy, obviously. This one, big return for Q. That's Quentin Burrell, number 4, receiver for the Caravan. One of the nicest guys on the team, if I do say.
Yeah. Takes that one out to about the 34. Q is the top receiver this season as a sophomore, which is very uncommon, Matt.
Yeah.
He's got about 310 yards on the season. And get this, averaging 28 yards per reception.
That's
insane.
Something. And you got to think there's a couple of checkdowns in there as well that are lowering that average.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Mrs. Smalla in our stats class. Maybe we should,
the outliers.
We got a breakdown of all the stats here. We had a test today, so I know what I'm looking at now, Christos. Elliott takes the snap. Not going to pass it. Oh, just brought down pretty hard there. Back on his feet, though. It was a small gain, but a gain nonetheless. It's going to be 2nd and 6 now.
Yeah, Jack was feeling that pressure coming to him. Just steps up in the pocket there, finds a little gap for a small gain.
Oh, yeah.
It's those little plays that'll add up in the end.
What is going on? Oh, they're sending Kaminsky off the field. This is the Stanford commit. So now they're going to bring in number 26, Dylan Wellner. He's a sophomore backup for the Roadrunners.
Talk about Elliott rushing. He's got 28 rushing attempts for 130 yards on the season.
Hand off. It's just closed down on too quick, you know. Okay. Little scuffle there.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen, though. In a big matchup like this, right? You've got a ton of cameras surrounding you. You know, what I mean is there's a lot of people here that want to watch this game, whether it's media, scouts, fans, parents, family, whatever it is. This is a really big game. You know, this is one that you don't really put off and say, maybe I'll just stay home and watch it on YouTube. This is one where if you know somebody playing on the team, you got to go to it. So I like to see these guys are pretty passionate, and even this early on, they're showing that passion, if you will. Elliott, DT, you're right behind him. Motions over Winkler. Not going to give it to him, though. It's DT's run again. Small game. 4th down coming up for the Caravan. This is going to be interesting. And, Christos, I know our offense is out there right now, but when it comes to our opponents, they are 0 for 6 on 4th down. Or actually 0 for 7 now, you know, with that punt from Nazareth earlier. So not a single team we have played in the past 3 weeks has been able to convert in 4th down. Whether that's because they meant to punt it or if they were going for it in the red zone, we were able to stop them. Elliott, pretty much the same formation as before. Going to motion over Winkler again. Hand off to DT.
It was close, Matt.
It's close, yeah. It's going to be short.
I think you're right.
Yeah, they're calling it. They're calling it a yard short. Maybe even 2. I mean, no, yeah, about half a yard. Half a yard. All right.
Yep.
Roadrunners ball. Tie game at 7. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Would you like to experience what a day with the Caravan looks like? Please come down to 6410 South Dante to shadow a current student attending Mount Carmel. Thank you to all of the young men who joined us today. It was great having you on campus. Visit our website to register and learn more.
And we're back after that turnover on downs. Mullichuk. Yep, they're going to call that one incomplete. He brought it in, but it was just too close to the ground.
That was number 2, Tavares Harrington. On the coverage there, he's a sophomore as well. So 2 prominent sophomores in him and Q.
Yeah, you love to see that when you've got a couple of young guys, you know. Of course, you want them to get the best experience they can. And so if Coach Lynch sees a guy, like even a freshman, you know, bone crusher, he's going to pull him up right away so they can play at the top level for as long as possible. Pass down the left sideline, incomplete. And Cooper Lehman with the coverage there. This is not something I was expecting tonight, Christos, that Cooper
not at all.
Would be closing guys down.
You know what, Matt? It's that speed, though.
He
was all over that. You know, he's not the one that's going to get beat.
No, definitely not. Here we go, 3rd and 10. The Roadrunners are looking to get something out of that turnover on downs, right? If you stop Jack Elliott and his offense, you better be able to respond, because if you don't, the Caravan might come knocking on your door later in the game, take the lead, and overall, the win. Malichuk sets his offense, trips left, one man solo. Oh, quick pass. Oh, it's incomplete, but Javi was all over that anyway. It would not have been a first down.
Yeah, Matt. Javi's, you know, he's such a smart player on that Caravan defense. He's got an interception this season, had 7 last season. and, you know,
Yeah.
going to Eastern Illinois next year, going to be reuniting with Blaney Dowling. But a guy like him, just in coverage there, the
Oh, yeah.
speed, you know, the reads,
There's
everything.
yeah.
He's a leader.
There's a couple of guys on this defense where it just looks so natural when they're out there, right? It's like they're meant to play at their position, and Javi is one of those guys, absolutely. Takes it. Booted. Lehman going to call fair catch at the 14-yard line, we'll call it. And that's where they're going to spot it as well. 4 minutes, 31 seconds remain. Tie game at 7. The Roadrunners were not able to do anything with that turnover on downs. Here we go. It's been a back and forth game. First quarter isn't really, close to being over. We've still got a lot of time. Elliott takes the snap, fakes the handoff, doesn't see the pressure. He gets the pass off right away. Incomplete. It was number 5 on number 5 there, the receiver in the coverage. Cooper Lehman was the intended receiver there. Gabe Kaminsky, DB all over that.
Matt, taking a look at this Caravan offensive line, we see the St. Linus grad, Nick Lewanski, back after his concussion in week 1. It's good to see him back and healthy. He's a vocal part of this line.
Elliott rolls out right away. It's a big pass downfield, wide open. Here we go. I've been saying it for 3 weeks that he was going to score. Cooper Lehman, touchdown, Caravan, baby. Number 5 gets in that big old brown rectangle at the end of the field. Score, Mount Carmel 13, Nazareth 7.
Matt, that's what we were waiting for. We've been talking about the speed all game, and it just shows right there as Lehman turns on the jets and leaves this guy in the dust.
Wide open, and Elliott hit him in stride as well. Great play. What did I say, Christos? I said if you don't take advantage of when the Caravan turn over the ball, they're going to come right back at you with a big play and take the lead. That's exactly what they do here with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Nico Mullen with the extra point. Christos, I just got to say, a little voice crack there. And I'd like to say it's excitement, but it's also because, I'm having a bit of a flu game right now, I'll say.
Yeah, Matt's got a little cold right now. So I like to think that he's having a Jordan flu game. Got to play your best.
Yeah, I'm not trying to complain or anything, but when you got to talk for 3.5 hours, it's a little, you worry a little bit when you get sick. So.
I was walking by before the game about an hour, and I just see you locked in, lights off in the room, AirPods in, listening to Pink Floyd maybe.
Pre-game ritual.
Oh,
tradition. Started my sophomore year, I got to do it every game. Caravan are up by a touchdown. Nico Mullen is back out there to boot it off and give the Roadrunners the ball. But yeah, man, this is a great atmosphere. I gotta love it. This is a game that I love to get locked in for, right? We've got a packed student section, a packed crowd. This is why I love high school football. This is Friday Night Lights at its best, because when we go and play Loyola or anything, that's a little less fun. It's a little more serious. You gotta be totally focused on the game because that's just such a big rivalry. But with this, you can let loose a little bit and just watch the game. This one returned by number 27 for the Roadrunners, Charles Calhoun. And man, the Roadrunners on the returns, they've been pretty good at that part of the game, I must say.
Definitely, Matt.
Yeah.
On the kickoff, you love to see it down the right side. 3 Cadge guys lined up in a row.
There we go.
Jimmy Layden, Emmett Winters, and Pat Brakey.
Yeah, it is senior night. We probably probably should have led off with that. But yes, it is senior night. We honored the seniors before the game. Unfortunately, we had our pregame show, so it was kind of tough to show both. But yeah, shout out to all the seniors, especially the guys out here on defense right now. I just kind of want to highlight Jackson Barnes here, JB8. He was one of our key players of the game. He's been a crucial part of this defense since week 1 in Hun when he got a couple reps, made a couple of huge defensive stops, and then last week against St. Rita, he had that interception and overall played a great game. Run up the middle is stuffed. Whistle still hasn't been blown, but the Caravan are going to bring him to the ground eventually. It's a gain of just a few yards. Ball, they started on the 25-yard line, so they still got a ways to go. Clock is running. Just a little under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And Christos, this is going to be a slow burn. I can already tell. Yeah, slow burn, but hopefully a lot of touchdowns along the way. You know, I'm looking for this to be a close game, obviously. You know, because of the rankings there, right? A number 6 team coming into number 3's territory. That's a very unique dynamic. You gotta love it. There are not a lot of games that are being played right now across not even the city but the state that have the same amount of energy, hype, coverage as this one does right now. So you gotta love it.
There's a penalty on that play. So it seems on the Roadrunners offense, so that'll back him up a bit. That'll back him up 5 yards.
Oh yeah. Back him up first. Should be second down, I believe, actually. Is it? I believe, yeah. Or no, 1st and 15, my bad. Pass complete. That's number 11 for Nazareth, James Penley.
You know, Matt, just watching this quarterback, he just zips that ball in there. You know, you just watch that form, watch that throw. You got to give it to him. It's going to be a tough game.
It is, yeah. You know, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Nazareth comes out with some ridiculous 70-plus yard touchdown right now.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
It would not shock me one bit. These guys are very good at finding gaps in other teams' defenses. They started off the season, beat Kankakee, beat Kenwood. And I'm not going to lie, in that Kenwood game, you know, Kenwood just didn't look ready for him. Nazareth played very well, beat him by 10. Malichuk rolls out right. Pass is tipped and incomplete. Great job there by number 28, the sackmaster, Tristan Pusateri.
Sackmaster can do more than just sacks, Matt.
There we go, yeah.
As he gets the deflection there. That was a big play. There was a lot of open field if Tristan didn't get his hands on that one.
Yeah. The middle of the field is a place where you might want to attack the Caravan defense. You know, down the sidelines, our DBs are very, very good at closing down and cutting off the angle between Malichuk and these receivers. And that's due in part to the fact that a lot of these receivers are under 6 feet tall. Our DBs are just able to kind of hold up, take a hold of that frame. But for a couple of these guys, they are 6'3", maybe around 190, 200 pounds. So it's going to be tough to cover them. Here we go right now down the sideline. No flag thrown. That pass was intended for the Roadrunners, number 7, Jake Sestone. And Cooper Lehman again. He's been all over the place tonight, man.
I'm starting to see why they're throwing him on defense now, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
There was no way that ball was getting to the receiver with Lehman all over him.
He must have made a couple of big plays in practice or something.
Yeah.
You know, maybe defensive coordinator Dan O'Brien had a conversation with him and said, "You ever played DB?" So.
And here he is again at punt returner. He's jack of all trades.
All over, man.
Just throw him in at quarterback. Why not?
Why not, right? I have faith. I have faith that, you know, he can throw a decent spiral as well as the many other things he can do on the football field. That's an interesting punt.
A lot of pressure there. There was 3 Caravan guys. Almost blocked that punt, but they got right to him. I think he kind of short kicked it.
Yeah, I don't think it was tipped, but maybe the kick came out that way because of he was feeling the pressure in the Caravan D-line. So 2 minutes, 30 seconds remain. 1st and 10 for the Caravan.
Please save the date on September 21st, 2024 for this year's gala. We are pleased to announce that this year's St. Albert Award honorees are Ned and Celine Hughes.
Here we go. Back on O. Elliott trips left. McCoy out there at the X. Drives back pressure. Gets the pass off. That's the same play we saw just minutes ago. The same exact play. Cooper Lehman with yet another reception on the night. I can't wait to see what his stats look like after this game, Christos.
Well, Matt, I think he's reaching 200 receiving yards on the year. He came into this game at 80. So,
Wow.
big-time players make big-time
Yeah,
plays.
I mean, he had 8 catches for 87 yards.
Yep.
And I wish I could say I know how many he has right now, but he's been all over the place too much. I lost track. So I do know he had that huge touchdown, but look at this.
He's 2 for
There we go.
135 tonight.
Wow.
Sorry, 3 receptions.
5-yard touchdown. Here we go. Elliott out to the left side. Does he have the angle? Yes, he does. Woo, touchdown Caravan. Quarterback number 9 gonna get 6 for Mount Carmel. 20-7. And the Roadrunners slowly slipping out of this one. It's a huge ranked matchup, but the Caravan are looking to silence the haters and show why they deserve to be higher than ranked number 3.
Well, Matt, Roadrunners have been seeing a rushing quarterback a lot. Last time they played the Caravan, Justin Lynch had 5 rushing touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Mount Carmel rushing touchdown record.
Yeah.
And that's by quarterback.
Wow. There we go. And sometimes I look at that media guide, the Frank Kishka media guide, and I'll see a couple stats, and I 200% believe they're typos. Some of those stats are ridiculous, I'll think of some, but and I'll say them later. But there's definitely a couple at the top of my head right now that I just read and I'm in disbelief. So yeah.
I got one. How about Dupree being our, let's see, last year he had the second most receptions and second most receiving yards by just 100 yards.
Wow.
So, obviously running back getting 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns a game, and then he also had just, it was 100 less receiving yards than Darion Gilliam, who's 5th all time in receiving yards, which is it's crazy. A guy who can do it all.
Another thing about Dupree, his name is down there in the record book a lot with those stats. He missed the entire playoff run his junior year.
Yeah.
He did not play in a single game. He played his senior year, obviously, but didn't play, at all. And so with 5 less games than a lot of guys on that list, he was still able to climb the ranks and take that number 2 spot. We've got roughly 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Nico Mullen going to boot this one back to the Roadrunners. Yeah, they're just going to keep running the same thing here. It's Calhoun on the return again. Can't find a gap, though. Brought down hard.
Wow, Matt.
Let's see, who was that?
I think that was the sack master.
There we go. Winkler got a piece of that too, I think. Yeah. Wow, great job. Great job by the special teams tonight.
I mean, the sack master just picked them up and slammed them down.
It's it's 9 to 5 work for him. That's all I gotta say. Right? Comes in, does his job, goes home. But no, Tristan Pusateri is a great player, great DB.
Talk about the run game for Nazareth for -1 rushing yards tonight.
And maybe that's why Malichuk is just gonna get a quick little easy pass there for a first down. Yeah, I think they might have accepted the fact that trying to run it up the gut when you've got Joey Quinn and Braden Jones there is just not gonna happen.
Yeah, that was Matt Muha there with the tackle. That brings his season total to 17 tackles. He led the team with 92 last year.
Yeah, he beat Parker by 1.
Yep, by 1.
Yeah.
What a competition right there.
And that's another run, and it goes pretty much nowhere. A small gain. But to be honest, on the tackle there is really what helped him gain that yardage.
Matt, looking at the stats, though, it's interesting. We got another young guy, Roman Iguabuke. He's actually leading the team in tackles right now with 19 tackles.
That surprised me a little bit. I definitely thought it would be a couple of these senior leaders, showing up and taking the top of those statistics at least. But Iguabuke, sophomore, 215, 6'2", great player. Rolls out of bounds. Harrington eventually gets him out. That was number 8, Trenton Walker, 6'3", 185, junior for the Roadrunners.
See Derek Murray come back in for Bone Crusher. Murray in to put some extra pressure on that quarterback as he does so well
Yeah.
with the combination of Joey Quinn and Braden Jones.
Yeah, you're gonna see Caleb Tucker, the bone crusher, in on third down mostly. Malachuk gonna run it out. Yeah, he's just pushed by Muha. There's a flag on the play. So yeah, I saw Muha's arm there. I think he's got some blood. Yeah, that right elbow. We're a quarter in, and guys have got, scrapes and bruises already. You'll have to see it. Caravan are up 21-7 with 37 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
We have holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. First down.
Okay, holding on the offense there. Good news for the Caravan, bad news for the Roadrunners. Coming down to the end of the first quarter here. 2nd and 12, the ball's on their own 45-yard line. I'll tell you what, Christos, roughly 70% of the plays the Roadrunners run are passes. However, I think playing against the Caravan defense tonight, that number is going to be higher. I think that percent will be higher, definitely.
Yeah, Matt, this Caravan D-line is tenacious, Matt. I mean, even Hunt Academy had some issues with it, especially late in the second half.
Yeah, they did.
A lot of pressure on Jack Moran that, kept the game within reach for the Caravan up until the last minute.
Yeah.
And that'll do it for the first quarter.
It's 21-7 here. The Caravan have a 2-touchdown lead. When we come back, it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Roadrunners. They're at the 50-yard line, about halfway there. Let's see if the Caravan can stop them, or will it be the Roadrunners trying to climb their way back and take the lead.
Man, only for someone to give me the answers for the test.
Matt, as we come back for the second quarter, I'd love to give a huge shout out to our Caravan fans watching from home, especially one Mr. Bob Valente.
Oh, yeah.
Dominic Valente's dad. Dominic graduated last year. Mr. Valente has been dealing with some health issues, in and out the hospital last month, and we just hope that he pushes through, stays strong.
Definitely, yeah. I know he loves watching Caravan football, so I hope he can, get healthy and keep watching these games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back though, that play, it's now 3rd down for the Roadrunners. Yeah. You talk about senior night. I remember when Dom played that night last year against Providence. That was awesome. So hopefully later on in the game, we're just gonna see a ton of seniors get in. I have a couple guys in mind, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I remember Dom getting the deep routes in game. Always going for those long passes.
Malachuk has to scramble, and he's going to be brought down.
There we go.
It's going to be a pretty big loss. 4th down coming up for the Roadrunners.
That was Matt Muha in for the sack. That's his 3rd sack. So while Muha trails in tackles for the team, he is leading the team in sacks with 3.
There we go. I think they're going for it. Okay. 4th and 8. They're at their own 49-yard line, and the Roadrunners have decided to go for it. Malachuk takes the snap, rolls out right, pressure from Muha coming. He gets the pass off. It's incomplete. Tavares Harrington with the pressure there. Great coverage. And the Caravan are going to stop him at about midfield and get the ball back here. Turnover on downs with about 10.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Matt, on that 4th down, that missed opportunity for Nazareth, that brings up the statistic you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Now opponents of the Caravan are 0 for 7 on 4th down conversions. That's a big stat, Matt.
That's a very
Because,
big stat.
4th downs can make or break a game for you.
Definitely. You know, you look at any level of football, if you can stop a team on 3rd and 4th down, that's awesome, right? Because you're in a pressure situation, you need to stop the other team, and you come up, get the job done. That's awesome. Elliott, Twins right, Q at the X. Takes a snap, it's a handoff up the middle. DT stays on his feet, stays aggressive, right? Lowers that shoulder, looking to get a couple extra yards after the first contact.
Yeah, Matt, you see a little opening, and he just puts his head down and just wants to crush you. That's something you got to appreciate out of your running back.
That's awesome, yeah.
But I will say, you can definitely tell as each game goes on, we're getting a lot more comfortable with handing it off to DT.
Yes.
You know, the first game he probably had 10 rushing attempts. Now he's already at 10 for the game. So it's great to see that they're, gelling a little more chemistry as each week gets on.
Elliott takes the snap, drops back, gets the pass off wide open. It was Q, but the ball goes over his head. And that might have had to do with look at this pressure here.
Yeah, that blindside hit on Elliott.
You kind of saw it at the last second. I think that might have affected the way the spiral came out. Q wasn't able to pull that one in, so the Caravan are going to be in a 3rd and 6 situation here in Roadrunner territory at the 45-yard line.
See number 14, the Catherine's grad, Jake Cozy. He's a senior.
In the slot, trips right. Alan McCoy, another senior out there as well. In fact, all 3 guys out here in trips formation are seniors. We've got the lone sophomore out to the left. DT gonna run it up. A little stiff arm, but he hangs on. No flag.
I don't know, Matt.
Okay.
That looked interesting, to say the least.
Well, it's going to be 4th down now. Knowing Coach Lynch, they're probably going to go for it. Those are plays you just got to put in the pass, right? This is kind of an only if play, if you know what I mean.
Strong run by DT, though. I mean, he just keeps going. His second effort gives us an extra couple yards there as it's 4th and 2.
That's what you got to love about the Caravan O, right? They kind of get a questionable no call, no problem. They'll put their head down, get back to work, and hopefully convert on 4th down here. Elliott alone in the backfield. Motions over Lehman. Fumble. Recovered by the Roadrunners. Yeah, had a mishap on the snap there, rather the handoff. That is very big for Nazareth because now they have a chance to put the game within 1 touchdown.
As number 5, Kaminsky, the Stanford recruit on that play.
Yeah.
He got right on that ball right away.
So that's got to be a great feeling. 4th and 2, you come in, just jump on the ball. So.
Neither team has converted on 4th down, I believe, in this game.
Yeah. 1st and 10, here we go. But Christos, if the Roadrunners don't take advantage of this opportunity, I think it's going to be a pretty common, repetition, I guess I should say, right? It happened earlier in the game where Caravan had a turnover on downs. This was a fumble, but still, if the Roadrunners can't answer here, then they're going to have to find other ways to put some points on the board.
That was Matt Muha on the tackle there. All right, Matt, I think he's number 1 for tackles now. We're talking about it a lot this game.
Yeah.
Still very early in the season, as that's his 21st tackle on the year.
When things get higher up and we go week by week, it'll keep changing. But there will be a leader that kind of sets himself apart. And if Matt Muha is the guy, that'd be pretty cool. Captain for the team. If he's also the leader in tackles, that'd be awesome. Malachuk takes the snap. Pressure from Braden. Ball downfield. A little too much on that one. And I think that had to do with a lot of Braden Jones there just jumping at Malachuk. You've got let's see here. Malachuk is 5'11", and Braden is 6'4".
Yeah.
You've got a 5-inch difference and a pretty big size difference there too.
Yeah.
So
All
yeah.
76 inches were on display there.
Yeah.
Matt, we see Michael Pinelli was getting in on the action there on the D-line. He's a big body to throw in on there. You know,
is.
he's a lot taller than a lot of these D linemen.
Mhm.
Obviously not Quinn and Jones, but
Yes.
you know, he's got the height advantage on a lot of guys, so definitely good pressure there on the right side. But now we see Damon Banks,
I was about
number
to say, yep.
45. Hasn't seen too much action since hurting himself last year.
Pressure right away. Do they get the sack? No, it's going to be complete. Gets past the line of scrimmage. Hopefully a little, yeah, there he gets a little more after that. It's a first down. They're going to move the chains. That easily could have been a sack, though. They were very close to getting it.
That was a heck of a play, Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, by both Malachek and number 0, McLean Jr. on the reception there. He juked out about 3 or 4 Caravan defenders. Got right down the middle of the field for the first down, and they're getting ready to go here with some momentum.
Yeah, hurry up offense. It's no question, no doubt when you've got this momentum, like you said, Christos. Wow. Oh wow. You know, Javi was there anyway. I think it wouldn't have been run to the house maybe, but yeah, pretty close to the front door. So
McLean giving some issues for this Caravan defense early. Back-to-back plays.
Yeah.
Just showcasing the speed there. This game has really been a lot about speed. Whoever's faster, you know. We got Lehman, we got McLean, you know, Malachek.
Yeah. Handoff out to the right. Kind of a slow play there. It's a gain though and a first down for Nazareth. First and 10, ball's on the 21-yard line. Nazareth very close to the red zone here. Practically in it, yep. Ooh. Brought down there by Muha. Strong hit on the hip. Got to find a way to stop him here. You know, force them to settle for a field goal, or even better, just rip the ball out of their hands. You know what I mean? Takes the snap, rolls out left. Pass is incomplete. Little too high there, maybe. JB8 on the coverage.
So that'll bring up another third down. It'll be 3rd and 6. These 3rd and 4th downs tonight have been tough for both teams.
Oh, yeah.
As we see 45 Damon Banks back in there. Banks on the D-line just like his older brother.
Oh, yeah.
Avi Banks. You know, Avi was small, but he was good, man. I mean, I remember his junior year, I believe he had 9 sacks, and he was standing at, 5'10".
He was electric, yeah.
Yeah, he was electric.
Small but mighty. Malachuk drops back, passes it right away, complete. Just kind of threads the needle there. It's going to be a touchdown for the Roadrunners. Game is now 21-13.
It's a game, Matt. It's a game.
6.5 minutes remain in the first half. The Caravan still have a lead, but the Roadrunners are inching even closer. We go number 4, Frankie Nichols, kicker from Nazareth. That one's good.
Quick rundown of both teams' offenses. Caravan have 6 first downs. Nazareth has 7 first downs. So definitely some comparisons to look at there. That was a big third down conversion though, Matt. You know, we haven't seen too much of it today, and those plays matter.
Yeah. I mean, Nazareth took advantage after Elliott kind of fumbled it on the handoff there earlier in Mount Carmel's drive. They just charged down the field, a couple of big runs, one big pass, and they found themselves in the end zone. So Caravan are going to try to do the same thing and take back the same lead they had just moments ago. But Christos, it's been a slow burn. I know I keep saying it, but 6.5 left in the second. I can tell this is going to be a late one. Usually by now, senior night might be changing momentum and being like, oh, let's get the guys that don't usually play out there. But I think if you're Coach Lynch and pretty much anybody on the coaching staff, you got to lock in and get ready to further this lead they have and secure the win before they can throw those guys out there. Touchback.
First touchback of the night. Haven't seen one in a while, actually.
Yeah,
now that I think about it.
Now that I think of it, it has been a bit. I know the opening kickoff at Rita last year was a touchback. Just booted it right out of the end zone. Almost went through the uprights, I think.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah.
Was that the kicker at Alabama now?
Connor Talty.
Yeah, Connor Talty.
I remember. So Rita has played here 3 times, and I think out of those 3 times, I mean, 3 games I've announced, and I think out of those 3 games I've announced, one of them, Talty was here. I was on the roof setting up, and my jaw just dropped because I saw this kid practicing, warming up, just easy, like 60-yard field goals. So no wonder he's off at Alabama, right? Handoff right up the middle, DT with the small gain. Just keeps going. Never mind. And man, it's Dupree-esque, I guess we'll call it that, right? Just looks very similar. Maybe DT has picked up a couple of things from, the Badger up north.
Speaking of the Badger, he's gotten in for a few plays at Wisconsin.
That, yeah.
It's great to see. He's currently sitting at 3rd or 4th in the depth chart at running back, but I mean, he's doing good. It's a couple seniors ahead of him, and he's climbing the ranks.
5 out, Elliott. Pressure, rolls out right for a pass. Complete, Lehman's got it. Room down the sideline, here he goes. Tries to back up and cut inside, but just goes out of bounds.
Yeah, it'll be out at the 27. That's a huge play, Matt.
Yeah, I run Caravan Highlights, a YouTube channel where we post highlights from every game, and I have a feeling Cooper is going to be in quite a lot of them from this game.
Definitely, Matt.
I'm going to be editing that video going, I remember this one, and that first down, and that 85-yard touchdown, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
He's averaging 45 per catch. That's insane. He already has more yards in this game than he did in the first 2. Right now, he has 4 catches for 177 yards. There we go.
Oh.
You got it? Yeah, touchdown Caravan. Sorry, I was too worried about one receiver. I forgot to look at the other one, so now the Caravan will have the lead 27-14. Yeah. Let's take a look at that play again.
Well, Matt,
Elliott, he had time in the pocket, but then rolls out, pass downfield, off balance. Q gets 1 foot in, back of the end zone, touchdown for the Caravan.
Matt, I saw them in warm-ups. Q was practicing that same catch, that same position down in that corner of the end zone. Something that he's been so good at as he gets his 4th receiving touchdown on the year.
There we go. Extra point. Good. 28-14. That's been the story of tonight's game. It's just a little back and forth. But, man, Nazareth did miss a couple opportunities in the first quarter that honestly would have made this a tie game right now. But the Caravan have just been, they've had a higher rate of success for offensive drives. So they're looking to further that success right now. Roadrunners are going to get the ball back. They're looking to stop them.
Man, as we get back here, I have a huge update in the Catholic League. Brother Rice and Rita are tied at 7 with a minute remaining.
What?
That's at Brother Rice. That's a huge game right now.
I gotta say, Pulaski has had a couple of big stories in the past week or so.
Sure has.
Marist beat the Crusaders 34-27, overtime. Got a touchdown and then stopped them. Man. Shout out to BRTV as well. Their game was on the Marquee Sports Network. Our game against JCA week 7 will be on the Marquee Sports Network as well. It will also be on YouTube though, so if you aren't subscribed to Marquee Sports Network or don't live in Chicago and still want to watch the game, you have that option. But I think it's awesome that Marquee is starting this student promotion to get kids involved with broadcasting these games, and I love the opportunity for it. So I can't wait for week 7. Our broadcast might look a little different. So yeah, our producer Leonard Siegel's got the Rice game pulled up right now.
Pull it up for you too, Matt.
Yeah. we're gonna keep our eyes on that, but right now the Roadrunners are charging down the field, at least trying to. 5.5 minutes remain in the first half. Second down, 8 yards to go. Ball is on their own 31-yard line. Talk about Marist. I gotta shout him out. My grandpa, Pat Malloy, was in the first graduating class there. So I'm sure he was pretty happy that they won over Brother Rice in an overtime finish. That one is complete. It's another 8 for Nazareth, Trenton Walker. That's awesome.
That was Jackson Barons on the tackle there. I remember just 2 weeks ago he made a similar tackle right about at that position, and they called a flag on it.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a controversial call, actually. You know, the receiver had the catch in midair, and Jackson had a textbook tackle, took his legs out from under him and flipped him, but called unnecessary roughness, I believe.
15-yard penalty. But, you know, you just got to take it in stride and move on to the next one. That's exactly what JV8 did. Didn't really let it affect him too much. Ended up finishing that Hun game with a pretty respectable, stat line. So.
Matt, as we're watching the game, St. Rita just scores a touchdown on
God.
3rd and 10. It's a 70-yard touchdown for Rita with 1 minute and 4 seconds to go.
Jeez.
Huge play down there at Pulaski.
You got to love Catholic League football, man. You got to love it. I'm kind of surprised of how low scoring of a game it is. I know Rita's offense took a couple of hits with a lot of guys graduating out last year, but for it to be 7-7 in that big of a matchup, it's interesting for sure. Roadrunners get a pretty big gain there. Not enough for a first down, but they're inching closer to moving the chains and making this a 28-21 ball game. Ball is on Caravan's 48. Malichuk gonna take it. Here comes Javi. Not gonna be able to get him. Just runs out of bounds, avoids the hit.
He's quick, Matt.
Yeah.
He's a little, we're doing a lot of player comparisons here. He's a little Kyler Murray, and
there you go.
He's got the similar build. He's quick. He's got a nice arm.
He can make throws on the run. I think that's definitely one of his biggest attributes. 3 minutes, 17 seconds left.
Give you another quick update. Rita sinks the extra point, so it is 14-7, St. Rita. There's 1 minute 6 seconds for the Crusaders to try and tie this game, but that's gonna be hard to do, Matt.
It's gonna be very hard to do, especially if you've only scored 1 touchdown so far in almost 48 minutes of play. They're moving deeper in Caravan territory.
They sure are, Matt. They're playing this smart. They're chewing a little clock.
I like it.
Taking their time.
Yeah, they get the ball back in the second half. Caravan started off. They had to punt it away. Nazareth coming out here. Twins left. Malichuk is not alone in the backfield. He's got McLean Jr. Pass out right. Oh, incomplete. Maybe that one was a little too quick on the route.
Yeah, definitely there, Matt. Seen a lot of quick passes there. Just couldn't turn his head around to get the reception there.
Yeah, definitely. Whew. Malichuk. 4 receivers, 2 on each side. McLean Jr. in his backfield. Drops back. He's got some time to throw. Runs out left out pressure from Braden. Incomplete. It's just too much again. Just a little too much.
He had him there, Matt.
We
Yeah, wide open. There's
There's a penalty flag on the field.
Thank you, Johnny K.
yeah, thanks.
Great PA announcer.
Yeah, how about it?
The likes of Gene Honda, you know, and Johnny K. It's just.
We have holding. Number 0 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. Enforced in the previous spot. Second down.
Okay.
Thanks for letting us know.
Second down, 2.5 minutes to go.
Tell you what, this is a lot better than 2 weeks ago, Matt.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, 2 weeks ago, week 1 is always interesting. You can come out flat and get blown out by an opponent where if you were to play them in week 9, it might be a very close game. Now that we're in week 3, you kind of know who's at what position, right? You've fizzled out the questionable starters. Not sure what that was.
I see a flag down.
Did he swat away? I might be wrong here. I think he swatted away his own pass. He didn't really make an attempt for it. He kind of swatted it.
Well, the flag down there on looks to be Tavares Harrington.
Yeah.
He was definitely holding on to that jersey.
Here we go, replay. Okay. Malachuk down the right. Okay, no, he didn't. He was just reaching out for it. All right, well, that was holding. Okay, yeah.
On the defense. 15-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot. Second down.
Okay, so we just had holding and now PI. So that's just going to even things out a little bit.
I think I spoke too soon about those flags.
Yeah. That was an interesting play. I couldn't tell what was really going on down on the sideline.
Yeah, we saw DT in on for the D-line there.
Yeah.
It definitely made an impact as there's 3 Caravan trampling through the offensive line, trying to get to quarterback.
What's going on here? Quick pass to Pensley. Gets upfield. Yes, he does. He's not going to have enough for a touchdown, but he almost gets inside the 5. Yeah, at about the 4-yard line. Looks like might have. Yeah. Okay. So that was 2nd and 5. Oh, come on. This will be interesting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I spoke too soon on that one.
Yeah.
We have holding. Number 7 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. Enforced in spot of the foul.
All right.
Second down.
Second down.
Matt, if this was basketball, you'd call this trading buckets, just going back and forth,
Yeah.
not really making a difference.
Yeah, I think the difference in football, though, is it's kind of boring.
It is.
It's, you know,
Yeah.
you get a flag, you get a flag, you get a 15-yard penalty, I'll take a 10, you know. At least in basketball, we get to see, you know, maybe a swish, corner 3 or something. With this, it's just you're anticipating the next touchdown. Malachuk. Ooh. There we go. Lehman there. Aggressive coverage. You like to see it, especially in the red zone.
I see the receiver there just put his head down and nail the guy as the ball gets to him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right, Christos. As Johnny K just said, it's 3rd down. We've got 11 yards to go here for the Roadrunners.
Now we see DT back out there as well as Damon Banks. Seen a lot of Damon Banks tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's been very effective applying defensive pressure on Malachuk.
Let's see. He's alone in his backfield. Let's hope there's some pressure applied there by DT, like you were saying, Christos. Never mind. Timeout taken. Let's see. Do we have 38 seconds remain in that St. Rita versus Brother Rice matchup? The score is still 14-7. The Mustangs have the lead. Brother Rice has 1 touchdown. St. Rita has used up all theirs. So just a little check-in on that Catholic League game.
Consider beginning a recurring monthly gift to Mount Carmel High School. Since December of 2022, we have increased our recurring gifts from 38 to 154, and donations from $30,000 to $117,000 annually.
Well, we see Mr. Williams in the drum line
There we
down
go.
by the student section, playing loud and proud for us. Got to give a shout out to them. Sounds great from over here
That's
in the
awesome.
press box.
Yeah. We what we used to call kind of the back rooms, those back offices have now been turned into music classes.
Oh, Matt, they did get away with one there.
Yeah, well, the folks up here in the box weren't too happy, and I don't think the guys down in the field were either. That was 3rd and 11. It's not enough for a first down. It's now 4th and 5.
Like to bring this up as I'm looking at the roster. Number 76 on the Roadrunners offense. Christian Malachek, he looks to be the younger brother of the quarterback. He's a sophomore.
Love to see it. That'd be pretty special.
Yeah.
Blocking for your brother or
How about it?
relative in general, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome to see.
Two very different players, though. Christian is twice Logan's size. As we're looking at the weight, Logan's 185.
Yeah, kind of reminds
Christian's
me.
260.
Kind of reminds me of the Mann brothers.
Oh yeah.
Marty, Marty's not small or anything.
No.
If anything, he's pretty average for his position and age. But man, dude, Garrett, man, they're my cousins. I could tell you, time and time again, whether it was Christmas Eve dinner at our grandma's or Easter brunch, he was going back for seconds. I'll say that. Linebacker for the Caravan.
Oh yeah.
I believe we've seen him a couple times already tonight.
He had the opening tackle of the night on the kickoff. Yeah.
Yeah. So not out there right now, but we're definitely going to see a little more of him.
Oh yeah.
Malachuk drops back, pass down the middle, complete. Folks, we've got a ball game.
Wow.
We have got ourselves a ball game. 28 to 20. The extra point will bring it to 21 if they can make it. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We've got a very great game. And you know what, Christos? People were expecting it. The number 6 ranked team in the state coming into number 3's home territory here at Barta Dowling. Gotta love it.
Matt, a quick update. Rice has one more play left in them. 8 seconds, 1st and 10. This is for game. It's going to be a Hail Mary. And they do get the reception downfield. He's going down to the 30, now down to the 20. And he's down. So Rice did get about a 40-yard reception there down to the red zone. And the guy just couldn't lateral it back to anyone.
Those are back-to-back losses that will resonate throughout the rest of the season and honestly throughout the rest of seasons to come.
That's big.
When you lose to Marist and Rita back-to-back in the same season, it's very tough to come back from. So, Rice has a couple of big games coming up. They've already played a couple. Maybe they can change the momentum and energy, but man, good for Rita though to be shut out by us, the Caravan, 28 to nothing, and then come back and beat the Crusaders. That's pretty cool.
Well, Matt, that's a bit of a shift in CCL blue now.
Oh yeah.
Right. So Rice will now be last place.
Yeah.
That moves Loyola to 3rd, Carmel to 2nd, and believe it or not, as of right now, Ignatius is in first place because of the point differential. Every team has one loss except for, of course, Rice.
Yes.
And
not a single team has a winning record, and this is supposed to be, one of, if not the best conferences or divisions, in the state. That's incredible. Q gonna take it back in the end zone, touchback there.
Well, you got to give credit to East St. Louis in that Loyola game. I mean, they've come out just hungry, after last season.
It's not like Loyola lost, their key players. They still have Ryan Fitzgerald, Iowa commit, holding over the offense. I mean, you got to look back at the tape, and honestly, you can blame it a little bit on it just being week 1. You're at a neutral site. You just won your previous game there for the 8A state championship. there was a lot of nerves, a lot of pressure, and maybe that's what led to them only putting up 7 points, which, by the way, that was not from their offense. That was from their defense, too.
Yeah.
So they figured things out last week. But, yeah, Christos, yeah.
Well, yeah, man, I don't, that shouldn't be a pressure issue, though. You're a state champion.
Yeah.
And you're playing against another good team. That's just who wants it more. East St. Louis just wanted it more.
You're playing against a team that lost in their respective state championships. So
yeah, all props to East St. Louis in that game. They're playing nationally this week against a team from Pennsylvania. They beat a team from Georgia last week. So you love to see an Illinois team do well in a national schedule.
Yeah, Imhotep Academy, I believe, or high school. So yeah, they are a looked them up, did a little research. They're dedicated to kind of teaching African American men. So that's very cool to look at the schedule. And East St. Louis, they're not getting on a bus to go 20 minutes away to play a team that's very known to them. They're heading all the way out to Pennsylvania to play this school that just so happens to be very good at football. Here we go. Elliott going to set his offense. It's 2nd and 4. Ball's on their own 26-yard line. Jack loses it. Gonna fall on top of it as well. I believe Nazareth has the ball. Whistle is blown. The play is dead, but the Roadrunners have the ball in Caravan territory in the red zone with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the first half, and they get the ball back at the start of the second. That's a
tough,
lot.
Matt. Yeah, that's tough. That's the second fumble now by Elliott.
Yeah.
I think he's getting just a little bit in his head now, but knowing him, just go to halftime, take a deep breath. He'll be fine in the second half.
Yeah, and you know what? We haven't seen any signs of fatigue or cramping, which is very good. He has his own set of Powerade bottles with, the 6 of them set off to the side just because of what happened week 1. But, But, man, that was such a hot and humid day. It was still August, so things haven't gotten, dramatically cold or anything, but it's still a little cooler than 2 weeks ago. So.
All right, let's see what this Roadrunners offense can do with Malachuk as looks to be a timeout by Nazareth.
You know what? That's a smart timeout.
It is.
That's a very smart timeout. You just got the ball back. You might be kind of running high off of that huge play, that fumble from Elliott. Let's take a breather, regroup, and try to tie this game back up.
Yeah, Matt, ball's on the 17. It's only a few plays. You can take your time, like you said, which they have been.
They have been, yeah. This could be one run. This could be one run. You break a couple tackles, get in the end zone. So I'd be surprised if they run it here. I think they're going to keep passing it, especially to those big receivers, maybe down the sideline or something. So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, run game's been working out pretty well for them in the second quarter, though, here.
Yeah.
Breaking a lot of tackles, as you said. I think their speed in terms of their receivers and their running backs has been showing as we enter halftime.
Yeah.
So definitely something the Caravan defense is going to have to look at and make some adjustments going into the third quarter.
I agree. Yep. Here we go. 1st and 10. After that timeout, the Roadrunners are looking to put some more points up on the board. Malachuk pressure right away. Going to throw it out of bounds.
Love to see it, Matt. Braden Jones following him all the way out to the 40 at the sideline. I mean, there was some pressure right there, Matt. That's what we've been used to seeing, and it finally shows when it matters here.
1.5 minutes left in the quarter. Nazareth is taking their time, that's for sure. This is not the time to hurry up, move quick, and rush. If you rush through a play here and end up throwing a pick 6 or fumbling or something, then that whole forced fumble went to waste.
Yeah.
Pass complete to Walker, Trenton Walker for the Roadrunners.
It's a solid gain, about 4, maybe a little more. But yeah, now this brings up 3rd down. This game has been a game of 3rd downs, to be honest,
It has,
Matt.
and that's because of how close it is, right? Mount Carmel 28, Nazareth 21, folks. If you're just checking in now, we're about to head into halftime, but the Roadrunners don't want to head into halftime with what the score is right now on that big board. They want to tie the game, make it 28-28, excuse me, and just, get out of here. Pass. Wow. Okay.
All
there
right.
you have it, 28-27. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Folks, we have a ball game here at Barta Dowling Stadium. The number 6 team, Roadrunners from Nazareth Academy, have just are about to tie it up with Mount Carmel Caravan.
This is a high-scoring first half.
Definitely.
You know, 56 combined points already. We talked about it week 1. Hunt Academy is, they scored 42 points against us. That's the most ever at Barta Dowling by an opponent.
Yeah.
And Naz is kind of trying to creep up on that now.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Oh, that one is blocked away. Forget what I said.
Huge play there.
Okay, it is not a tie ball game. The score is 28-27. So that means if the Roadrunners, find themselves back in the end zone, they might be questioning whether or not to go for 2. It obviously depends on the situation, whether or not that'll come in the third or fourth quarter. Most likely the third from what we've seen so far in the first half. Just a high-scoring game. It's a shootout, kind of going back to Muha Cozy and I, we talked a little bit today, and Muha said, if it's a shootout, it's going to be a good one. But he obviously said he didn't want it to be one. He wanted to shut down the Nazareth O. Hopefully they can do that in the second half.
Yeah, Matt, you talk about that play being a game changer, though. I mean, that block right there, that missed extra point, is the difference between a win and a loss for Nazareth. Yeah. Not that it'll come to that, but I mean, the way this game is looking right now, it could come right down to the wire.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine if instead of the second quarter it was the fourth right now?
Yeah.
That'd be a huge play.
Yeah.
Instead of overtime, we'd be thinking about, going to the parking lot and getting out of here, right, with a Caravan win. So we're not there quite yet. We've still got 48 seconds left in this first half, and then a lot of time in the second.
It's the third touchback of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Caravan offense has 9 first downs still. Got about 70 rushing yards. So we'll see what Coach Lynch wants to do here with 48 seconds to go before halftime.
Jack going to set his offense here. 48 seconds on the clock. First down at the 20. Trips right. It's a formation we see a lot with those senior receivers. To pass out to the left, though. Q's got it. Jukes makes a move, but is brought down hard. That'll be a first down.
That's a first down, 41 seconds. We do have 2 timeouts left. Now clock is running. Mind you, Nico Mullen did have a field goal in week 1. It's not totally out of the picture if they make it there.
Definitely not out of the picture. I agree with you there.
But I'd say if you want to get to field goal range, you still got to get to about the 15 or 20.
Yeah, that'd be number 4. Frankie Nichols is the kicker for Nazareth. We haven't seen a field goal out of them. But what you're just talking about with Nico Mullen, if we still had Louis Geppetto, that would be, no doubt in my mind. It's like, well, of course we can kick a field goal, right? Because he's just so used to it. He has a lot of experience. Nico is a great kicker, a great player. He's got great poise and confidence, but he just doesn't have the experience needed to, kind of make big kicks consistently. He made a big one week 1, though. Too far. Yeah. Nico's a great guy, incredible leader for the soccer program, and he's slowly becoming a big leader for the football program as well.
Yeah, definitely, Matt. Bit of a conflict of schedules. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. He comes on a bus, shows up right before kickoff.
Yeah.
You were talking about that week 1. He was like, thought he was just kicking extra points, and nope, you're on the kickoff.
And from what I've heard, he didn't really know what a kickoff was. He kind of just thought there was one of them. It was at the start of the game, and then after that, you wouldn't kick off to change possession. So they had to have a couple talks with him. I'm sure Coach Frankie Lenti, that one tipped away. I'm sure Coach Frankie Lenti has had a few conversations with him about his kicking game. Special teams coordinator. He also helps a lot out up here in the press box with media coverage and everything you see here in Barta Dowling with the replay, audio from the officials, just everything like that. 18 seconds remain in the first half. Elliott's just going to punt this one away on 4th and 4. However, I'm not so convinced that this is 100% going to be a punt. You never know with Coach Lynch's offense. However, there's 18 seconds left. I think it's smart to just boot it away. Yeah, well, okay. He started to fake it. That one falls back, goes out of bounds right around the 15.
Matt, that's dangerous to have. This takes me back to week 9 of 2 years ago at Loyola.
Yeah.
Jack with a huge fake punt that gets us a first down and ultimately leads to the game-winning drive.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. We've had a couple of great fake punts from Jack on 4th down. We almost saw one there, but I think he was just faking out the defense. So.
Yeah, smart play.
No,
10 seconds to go, not too much to gain. Even if you got the first down, you'd still have a lot of ground to gain in terms of getting into field goal range.
They're going to take the knee, let the clock run out. And, folks, we've got a shootout here at Barter Dowling. Score at the half, Mount Carmel 28, Nazareth 27. Ladies and gentlemen, Caravan fans, we're back from halftime here at Barta Dowling Stadium. The score, Mount Carmel 28, Nazareth Academy 27. Christos, you know, what are some big things from the first half that are going to carry on into the second year that are going to be crucial in who comes out of this one victorious?
Well, Matt, I'd say in favor of Nazareth, it's those 2 fumbles that Jack Elliott had that, you know, Nazareth scored on both of those fumbles.
Yeah.
And for the Caravan, they blocked the extra point attempt that makes it 28-27. In a game like this that can go down to the wire, that's a huge deal.
Oh, keep going, Javi. Pretty good return. He's still up. Okay. Finally blown dead. Just past the 30 on that return. So excuse me, folks. I know. Oh, there's a flag on the field. I know there was a couple times in the first half where I said that Naz would get the ball in the second half. I was wrong about that. I apologize. No, but right now we've got a flag. See what this one is.
And the play, dead ball, was the foul, number 6 on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty.
15 yards. That's going to push the Caravan back quite a bit. So now that return past the 30 will now fall. So let's see, what was the exact yardage there? Okay, the ball's on the 18 now. First down still, obviously. Elliott, skill players take the field for the first time in the second half. They're looking to take an even bigger lead than 1 point over the Roadrunners. Jack, he's got trips left. Sets his offense. Does not drop back. It's a handoff to DT. An aggressive one. A good one is that. Small gain, but a gain nonetheless.
You talk about that being a small gain. I mean, here in every yard, every inch that he got on that carry as he's just shuffling, trying to push his way through, get that little extra yardage. And it's plays like those that count in the long run.
Definitely, yeah. DT is a vital piece of this offense, not because he scores, 80-yard touchdowns, but because he's just the guy to get a nice, easy 4 yards. You know what I mean? Cooper going to get the reception there. Pushed out of bounds, but a great job nonetheless.
You talk about DT. He's got 11 rushing attempts for 64 yards and a touchdown on the night. Yeah. And you talk about Cooper. I think he's got about 150 receiving yards on the night. And this is just, a bit quiet first 2 weeks, and all of a sudden he's just exploding.
After that catch, 184 is the number off of 5 catches. So, yeah.
I underestimated. Yeah, 36 yards per reception.
Yeah, I don't blame you for underestimating, though, because for him to have a big game already, we haven't even gotten to the fourth quarter. That's awesome for Cooper. Elliott looking down the left sideline. Nobody's open. Alan McCoy is, though. Brought down just before the 40. Not going to be enough for a first down, but it is enough for a solid play.
That's McCoy's first reception on the game. He did have a huge touchdown in that Hun game, going down the right sideline for about 40 yards. And that was his first reception of the season, I believe.
It was, yes.
Was that huge touchdown. So props to McCoy, the Central Middle School product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got playing time last year, but nothing like this. And that's just because there were seniors in front of him that obviously got the starting job and things like that. But he has made himself a key part of this offense. Elliott motions over Cooper, hands it off, jet sweep. He just stopped right away. DT was blocking there. Cooper was hoping for him to just keep blocking to the sideline, but he just got caught up in the block. 10 minutes, 19 seconds remain. We're very early on here in the second half, but, man, if it's anything like the first, it's going to be a close finish.
As we see Xander out there, number 27. We've been seeing him on both sides of the ball so much lately.
Yeah.
And he's been useful.
Motions DT, takes the snap, runs it up the middle himself, is hit hard right away by number 21 for Nazareth, Lesroy Tittle. Running back and linebacker, standing at 6'2", 205, the junior for the Roadrunners. Haven't seen much out of him, but here we go. Shout out to the Red Hats down there. Marty Mann, kind of, senior leader of them. And you got Terry Doherty and Jake Carroll following in his lead. That's awesome to see. Marty was a Red Hat last year.
Definitely.
Now he's back down there doing the same thing. So Marty, man, he might not be out there catching touchdown passes and blocking for DT, but, man, he's still a huge part of this team.
Well, he'll get it there on the 4th and 1. That's a big play right there, Matt.
Very big play. And the fact they gave it to Jack is not surprising.
Yeah, speaks volume to the kind of runner that he is.
Yep. I still a recent clip kind of surfaced on Instagram of these guys were talking back, just about college football in general, and they brought up Jordan Lynch and that great season he had in 2013 with NIU, and they said, man, he would have been so great in the NFL if it wasn't kind of for the changes that were going on as far as running quarterbacks and how often they were passing in the league. So
definitely.
Things are a lot different now. You have guys like Lamar Jackson that are seen as a run-heavy quarterback. That pass is complete to Q out to the left side.
Well, to play off of that, obviously, there were some guys in the 80s and 90s that come to mind that were running quarterbacks. But taking a look at the Mount Carmel product, Donovan McNabb, he was really kind of a prototype in a way for a lot of guys, even for someone like Michael Vick, who he later on mentored in Vick's second run with the Eagles. But McNabb, he broke a lot of rushing records as a quarterback in his 11 years with the Eagles.
He did, for sure. He made it to the big game. Came up short, though. But we've got a couple guys.
The Patriots, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a couple guys out of Carmel that have made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's very nice to see him.
Definitely our most notable.
Definitely, yep.
Probably professional athlete ever. Joe Williams comes close, but wrestling obviously doesn't get as much publicity.
Yep.
Though he was definitely one of the most skilled in his sport.
DT, wow. Yeah, you're definitely right, Christos. DT just absolutely ran up the gut of that Nazareth D-line.
Wow.
Enough to move the chains, but, man, it's enough to prove that he has solidified himself as the #1 running back on this team.
Look at
you
that.
Know what? Gets another one right there. Helmet comes flying off. Doesn't matter.
Man, he's a dog. He's a dog, man. He's eating it up out there.
Yells out something. I think he's a little upset because now he's got to sit out for a play. But
well, now we'll see the junior, number 25, Madden Wilson, come in for a snap. Madden's been looking for some more time.
Yeah, Madden played great on the sophomore team.
He did.
We're going to see if he can transfer that over to the varsity level.
He got in the Rita game, and he showed some flashes of greatness, I think, in the end of that fourth quarter there, where we scored and had that 2-point conversion.
Mm-hmm. Wilson in the backfield with Elliott. He's going to drop back for a pass. Right down the middle, complete to Q. Runs in, touchdown, Caravan. And there you go, from 28 to 27, to now 34 to 27. The Caravan are looking to extend their lead even further with an extra point coming up by Nico Mullen. But that's a huge play, right? A pass right down the middle of the field. It's a risky spot to throw the ball. Jack Elliott puts it in the perfect spot, and Q takes his time to get into the end zone.
Yeah, Matt Elliott there hit on the throw. Spiral came out a little wobbly, but gets there no matter what. Q was just open, wide open, in fact.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
Runs right in. But now the Roadrunners, they got to respond. That one's good. Okay, 35-27, man. It's a shootout, and Nazareth, they're really hoping that they've got a couple left in the chamber, because after that huge Caravan touchdown, it's pretty clear that they're not empty, if you know what I'm saying. So.
Yeah, definitely, Matt. It'll be interesting to see how the offense comes out here with Malachuk. He was even scrambling well, Matt. We saw him on a few runs out to the left side, getting the first down. But also, like you said, that opposite field throw, where he's running out to his right, running out to his left, and he throws it opposite field. Like that,
it's insane.
It's not a skill too many quarterbacks have at this level, and that just kind of shows, the guy's got a few offers early on. One to South Dakota, I believe you said.
Yep.
He's a big player here.
I think he'll do well in college.
He will.
You know, if you have a couple of guys like Josh Allen, went to Wyoming, was really the only school that showed interest in him. Now he turned into a great prospect. Guys like Malachuk, who they're very flexible, but aggressive at the same time. Those are the type of guys that turn out to be, turn out to do very well in small schools. But Nico Mullen getting in the action. I think that flag's going to be on him. Let's see what the refs have to say about it.
The kickoff returned by number 0, Edward McLean Jr. There's a penalty flag on the field.
Okay. Penalty. We're going to see what that penalty is in just a moment. But yeah, chains are moving up here. I got to think that's on Nico. He was really the only one that got a big hit there. Excuse me. Oh.
Refs are talking it over here. They're talking about a kicker getting a hit. I remember last year, Louis Geppetto, one of his last games of his career, and he finally was able to nail someone down on the sideline. As small as he is, standing 5'6", however much he weighed. But I think that was kind of a good way to end his career at Carmel, knowing he could finally get that hit as a kicker. And he talked to us about it on the podcast.
He did, yeah.
Kind of that being something he wanted to check off his bucket list as being a kicker.
Yeah, I mean, that huge hit in the semifinals sent him downstate. 64 points were scored by the Caravan that night, so Louis was busy kicking extra points. The refs are still deciding what that flag.
We have 2 fouls on the play.
Okay, we have 2.
The first foul is a hold on the return team,
Okay.
and we'll enforce that penalty. It'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Then after that, dead ball, personal foul, defense. Therefore, we're going to tack on 15 yards after we enforce the penalty for the hold, and we have first down.
Okay, well, they didn't say the number, but I think that was on Nico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very enthusiastic call there by the ref.
You gotta love it.
Yeah, you got
What was it? Wes McCauley, I think, is a big ref in the NHL. He always loves to make dramatic calls like that. And you know what? In a game situation where it's 35-27 in the third quarter, of course you're gonna be pumped up a little bit, even as a ref to be out there. I couldn't imagine officiating a game where a team is just up by 7 touchdowns, right? This one, it keeps you locked in when the score's close.
Definitely.
Motivates you to make the right calls, I think.
It's a good atmosphere to be in here at Barta Dowling. Although I will say, our sideline can get a little rough at times when things don't go our way.
Yeah. Well, it's passion.
A lot of passion, that's for sure. Yeah.
Taking a look at our student section. Guys are still packed in there with their frat theme on, polos, backwards hats, and stuff.
Yep.
Sticking it out to hopefully see the Caravan win. Malachuk, Muha, pressure right away. He just has to throw it. It's deflected but complete at the same time. First down, Roadrunners.
Matt, that's happened a few times now where, in particular, Muha just gets to the quarterback and makes him make a quick throw, but, the Caravan defense is still getting to the ball, and it just leaves a little gap for the receiver to get an easy first down.
Definitely. You talk about that little gap almost, Nazareth is very good at finding spots like that. Pass down the left side. Oh, intercepted by the Caravan. Javi Payne, his second of the season, rips it out of the Roadrunners wide receiver's hands. What a beautiful play by Javi Payne. Oh.
Matt, that's what we've been needing all game. Roadrunners had 2 takeaways. We get one of our own here. Payne now with 9 total interceptions for his career. He's creeping into the top 10 all time for Caravan.
Man.
You just love to see it there. He just rips it out of the receiver's hands as we see the replay here.
Got 2 in 3 games. And we're definitely going to talk about him, on the shoulder to shoulder podcast and next week's pregame show. You got to, right? Huge defensive player. There we go. Elliott coming back out in the field. Probably said thanks to Javi while he was on his way out there.
Might as well.
Trips left. Jack takes the snap. Looks out left. Pass downfield. Oh, he was open. It's kind of underthrown.
Yeah, he got tipped, I believe, as he was coming off his back foot on that throw, and just enough pressure there from the D-line.
That was intended for Jake Cozy, number 14.
Cozy may be one of the smaller guys on this team, but definitely got a big heart, Matt.
So,
And he'll pick a fight with anyone too.
I still remember last year against Rice. He scored a touchdown and there you go, got him off. Okay, the Caravan will move up a little bit here after that flag. But yeah, I still remember. Sorry for that static, but I still remember when he scored that touchdown. Just started going electric.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense.
There you go. Okay, encroachment. Caravan are gonna get some help there. Okay, Elliott sets his offense. Twins left, Q solo out to Elliott's right. Jack motions over Cooper, goes back the same way he came. It's a handoff. DT has a gap and hits it, but is brought down just past the D-line. Not enough for a first down. Pretty short gain there. Moved horizontally. Caravan are going to have to convert here on third down. Christos, I know you said it earlier, but they've got around 40% conversion rate on third down. It could definitely be a lot better. In past years it has been better, in fact. So they're looking to change things right here on 3rd and 3 at their own 40-yard line.
All right, we got Xander lined up on the right side.
Motions over. Elliott hands it off to DT again. He's tripped up right away. So now it's going to be 4th and short. There we go, a little scuffle. Now it's going to be 4th and short, 2 yards to be exact, at their own 41-yard line. The Caravan trying to charge downfield, or will it be a punt? I don't think so. Yeah, it looks as if they're calling a play.
You know, Matt, not too much of a gain there from DT, but DT's been really serving as kind of a slow down offense here for the Caravan,
Yes.
which, is adapting to a new set of receivers.
You need this one. 4th and 2, try to get him to go off sides, excuse me. Elliott alone in his backfield. Trips left with Gorman there lined up behind left tackle Tommy. Or excuse me, it's not Tommy. Stopped right away.
No, they did not get it there, Matt.
Well, Roadrunners have it. Christos, this has been the story all game, man.
Oh, yeah.
Either the Caravan or the Roadrunners turn the ball over, right? Whether it's a fumble, a turnover on downs, or just punting it away. And then the other team, it's up to them whether or not they're going to take advantage of that opportunity, come back down the field and score. We've seen it a lot more out of the Caravan, obviously, from the score being 35-27, but you never know what the Roadrunners can do here. They might come down with a big pass play, or maybe just use that run game, stick to things down on the ground to try to get into the end zone. And then a big question comes up. Do you just kick the extra point, or do you go for 2 to tie it?
Definitely, Matt. Looking at this Caravan D-line, we got, obviously number 99, Braden Jones. He's 25 or so offers. Only, 7 tackles on the season, but he's getting double-teamed every time. I think it's not showing on the stat sheet how much of a presence he has on the field.
Yeah, he definitely has a big one. It's not enough for a first down. It's short of it by about 3 yards. But, yeah, back to Braden. When he goes off to college, whether it's Notre Dame, Ohio State, whatever Power 4 conference school he's going to go to, they are going to mold him into being a great defensive lineman. Right here, Coach Grooves is doing the best he can, but they're trying to teach him how to apply pressure, and he does a great job of that, no doubt. But like you said, a lot of double teams, and there you go. He gets in on the play there. It will be enough for a first down, though. So the Roadrunners are charging down the field, inching closer to red zone territory. Excuse me.
Yeah, in a way, it's almost a testament, though, to his talent. It's forcing other guys to step up because on every play you have to double team them.
Yeah.
You can't
It's
risk
tough,
it.
It's tough not to, yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about Nazareth's defense, they run a 4-man front, which is a lot different from the Caravan. The Caravan like to put, 3 down there in the trenches up on the line and use the remaining 8 players out to cover the receivers, right? That's a big thing. We know our strengths. We know that we can put 3 pretty big, aggressive, tough guys up there on the line. We don't need an extra 4th one to try to get a sack or apply pressure in the backfield. We'd rather use that other guy, back as a DB or outside linebacker, whatever it may be.
Yeah, definitely, Matt. And it's worked.
It has.
I mean, you think back to last year, guys like Tavon Rice, who had, he had about 60 tackles, I think,
Mm-hmm.
as a
He
D
wa-
lineman, which
he
is
was up there,
huge.
yeah. Yeah.
And he was a leader, captain. Also, guys like Jamari Chaney.
Yeah. If
You
there's
know?
if there's one thing I remember about Tavon is we're playing at Rice, and the game's over. We won, but he injured his leg,
Yeah.
and he gets up off of the trainer's table because he sees all the guys raising their helmets, ready to sing the fight song. So he runs over there on this hurt leg. Runs kind of awkwardly, raises his helmet, sings a fight song, and then comes back to the trainer's seat, and he's like, "That was a terrible idea." That's what I remember him saying. Malachuk up the middle, hit hard by Javi.
A little slow to
Oh,
get up
that's-
there. Yeah, there's a flag.
I don't know what they're. That's a late one. Late flags are always, kind of up in the air. You never know what they're going to be. Let's see what the call is.
5-yard face mask on the defense.
Okay.
Enforced for the end of the run. First down.
Okay. First down, 2.5 minutes to go. That flag was on the Caravan defense. Bone crusher. Go ahead, put him in. Number 79, Caleb Tucker. And having a freshman there at nose
about
guard is, I don't know the last time we had something like this where a freshman was getting this much playing time on varsity. Malachuk drops back, pass down the middle. Oof. Flag on the play. I think, that'll be on number 2, DeVaris Harrington, most likely PI or something.
Gave him a shove after the play. I think they're going to say unnecessary.
Let's see what they got at. Yeah.
Let's see.
Once again, we apologize for the static. Just the way the
Pass
mixer set.
interference on the defense. Number 2, half the distance to the goal.
Okay. That's pretty big, half the distance, right?
Oh, yeah. So we see a pretty new D-line out there in Cronin, Bone Crusher, and Banks. Banks has been on a lot. Cronin, the senior captain, he was voted in by his peers, kind of showing a testament to his character. Real man of Carmel. That's what I got to say about Cronin. Puts his heart and soul into everything he does.
Yeah, Danish. That's what we call him.
That's what we
There
call
we
him.
go. Run out to the left, out of bounds. He told me a little bit about that. He was out with his friend riding bikes, and he fell off the bike, and somehow the word Danish came up. Like they just started saying that. So I'll have to ask him again about that story. But
Yeah.
it's a pretty funny one.
Feeling Danish.
Yeah. He was the cover athlete for this week's program with our rosters.
It's looking good.
Alternate captain, and sometimes being an alternate captain is a higher honor than being a captain in general.
Definitely.
That means that your brothers on your team wanted you to be a leader. That's awesome. Pass out to the left is incomplete. That was on 3rd and 2, so now a 4th down. Sticky situation comes up here for the Roadrunners. About a minute and a half left in the 3rd quarter, so you obviously have to go for it when you're at this down a distance in this spot in the field.
Yeah, Matt, you're talking about alternate captains, thinking about last year, number 35, Joe Nolan, the tight end. Definitely, I would say that is honestly a greater honor than just being a captain.
Yeah. That is a product of St. John Fisher. I remember going up against him in practice a couple times. I would come home and, with biggest headache I've probably ever experienced. That guy, Joe Nolan, hits hard, man. And,
he does.
He's off now at college, but that's awesome to see these alternate captains getting some love.
Yeah. One of the nicest guys you'll meet, though. I remember I saw him right before he left for college, pulling in the Charter Fitness parking lot. Just definitely one of the most generous guys I've met here at Carmel.
Definitely. Roadrunners, 3rd and 2 because of that penalty. It's no longer 4th down. Still at a minute 36. Caravan 35, Roadrunners 27. Will that change here? Malachuk, pass, incomplete. Great pressure in the backfield by Stephen Winkler there, number 29. Just tries to jump, put his hands up, cover that frame that Malachuk can see, that line of sight.
So we're back at 4th down.
We are, yep.
4th and 2, ball on the 6.
So
it's an interesting position for the Roadrunners.
Right, you don't have to score.
No, you don't.
All you got to do is get 2 yards, and that'll be 1st and goal. But they
You're
are
close enough.
They are obviously aiming for the end zone here.
Exactly.
Bone Crusher coming back out there at nose guard. Maybe he'll get a sack or something.
They got it.
Yeah, there you go. So they get the first down, but they're not going to get the touchdown. The ball is down at the 2-yard line, it looks like. Yeah. So it'll be 1st and goal at the 2. And this clock burning down very slowly.
It's a Caravan helmet off. That's Joey Quinn. So Vince Cronin will come in
There we go.
to help him out. Pat Brakey will also come in at DB.
Clock ticking down. Roadrunners are looking to get a chance to tie this game. And you see here Malichuk. Pass immediately out to the right side. That's a touchdown for the Roadrunners. Score is now 35-33. It's a 2-point difference. Caravan had that 2-point lead. Yeah, they're going to stay out here. You have to go for 2. You have to.
Definitely, Matt.
If you kick an extra point, you're accepting defeat, right? It's like, oh, we'll get it later on in the 4th. Not guaranteed at all. So
Yeah, I would say you got to go for it early because then you know what you got.
Right.
Later on, if
the Caravan,
if you miss, you still got to keep going for 2.
Definitely, yeah.
If not, get the extra point then.
Right. Caravan are, we've got a combined total of 68 points scored tonight. That's usually not something you see here at Barta Dowling, especially from last year's home games. At the 2, Malichuk. Trying to get these guys offside. He's unsuccessful. Fakes it out right. Little pass. Oh, intercepted there on the 2-point conversion. The ball ends up in the hands of number 2 for the Caravan, Tavares Harrington. That is the best outcome that could have came from that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, there you have it.
It's a tricky situation now. Now you're down by 2. The good thing for Nazareth is they know now what they have to do going into the 4th quarter.
Yes.
If you kick the extra point, it's still there's some uncertainty there.
Yeah. All right, we are going to head on to this next drive, but Christos, I think this is going to be it for you. We're leaving a little early here in the 3rd.
Yep.
Everything's okay, don't worry, but we're going to have freshman Brendan Dagler step in. He just announced a sophomore game. Now he's stepping in for the varsity. So
we'll be coming in at the start of the 4th quarter.
Okay, there we go.
Are you currently a student that attends a grammar school? Do you want to experience what a game day is like with a Caravan? Join us on Friday, October 11th for Grammar School Night at Barta Dowling Stadium. The Caravan will suit up to play the Hilltoppers from Joliet Catholic Academy, and it's sure to be a good one.
A kick by Nichols.
Ooh.
Fumbled a little bit by Javi. He just keeps running, though. Finds a gap and hits it.
Great return by Payne as he takes it out to about the 38. But, yeah, you're right, Matt. He was fumbling it for about 5 yards there. Finally secured it in.
Elliott going to take the field again. Having that 2-point lead is huge for your offense. It's a lot less stress, Playing in a tie game situation when it's almost the 4th quarter is nerve-wracking, but you've got a little leeway here. DT in his backfield. Elliott trips right. One guy out to his left. Takes the snap. Pass down the middle. Cooper's got it. Gets tripped up and goes down just past the 45. Caravan still in their own territory and are 1 yard short of a first down.
Yep. Elliott's 12 for 19. Sitting at about 250 passing yards on the night. That's about average for him on any given day.
Time ticking out here in the quarter. I'll try to get at least one more playoff. Hopefully 2. Elliott down the middle. Stephen Winkler, number 29. Going to make his way to the end zone. Secures the ball. Touchdown, Caravan. And what did I just say? I said, hopefully, they get 1 or 2 more plays. They didn't even need that second one. Score, Mount Carmel 41, Nazareth 33. Still an 8-point lead like we had moments ago. 6 seconds left in the 3rd. Christos. What do you got to say about that pretty quick drive?
Well, Matt, obviously Winkler with the big touchdown there. That's his first touchdown of the season. And, you know, we were saying earlier, Xander was talking about guys that show grit and toughness. Winkler was the first name that came to mind, and he shows it right there. He's playing on both sides of the ball. He'll make a few good tackles. Right down there on the other end of the field, he had some pressure on the quarterback that altered some of his passes, and then he gets the touchdown. That's, you know, he's proven himself out here.
Definitely, yeah. Only a junior, but, man, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he's repping 27 next year or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Very, very gritty guy.
Of course, that'll be up to Coach Frankie. Oh, this is interesting.
If he kicks it, it's a 9-point game.
5 seconds. Ooh, he's got to snap it, and Nico's just going to step up.
There you go. Wow, that's a pretty impressive play with the, you know, down to the last second on the play clock.
Yeah, that's nothing new for him. He does that on the regular, day in, day out.
Mm-hmm.
Just step up, make the kick. So that makes it a 9-point game, Matt. It's a bit of a awkward position for Nazareth.
Definitely.
You know, you're gonna, you know, you need 2 touchdowns unless if you're really confident in your kicker. And, you know, obviously both teams do not use their kicker.
Yeah.
On October 11th, 2 of the most storied Carmelite high schools will meet on the gridiron here at Barter-Dowling Stadium. Join us for a pregame gathering with food and refreshments just before the first ever Carmelite Classic. This incredible matchup will be played in honor of Joliet Catholic Academy alum and former Mount Carmel teacher Mr. Kevin Hansen. Mr. Hansen passed away in April of 2015, but left his mark on these 2 great schools. This will be a great event, and all proceeds will go to students in need of financial assistance at Joliet Catholic Academy and Mount Carmel.
Here we go. This will be the last kickoff before we head into the 4th quarter. 6 seconds remain. Mount Carmel 42 if that extra point is good by Nico Mullen. Nazareth has 33 after that impressive drive. Lets it go out. Flag on the play. No time taken off the clock there either.
Legal procedure, kicking the ball out of bounds. Kicking team, take the penalty, force it at the 35-yard line, first down.
Okay. They're going to take over at the 35. It's the Nazareth Roadrunners.
Yeah, Matt, that's Winkler's first reception on the season. 53-yard touchdown.
There you go. He probably wasn't expecting that one, right?
I don't think Naz was expecting it either, though, Matt.
Right,
When
yeah.
you're watching film, you don't see Winkler doing that.
Run out to the right. Small gain.
That'll do it.
That'll do it for the first 3 quarters of this highly ranked matchup between the Caravan and the Roadrunners. Heading into the break, Caravan 42, Nazareth 33.
Elliot writes down some notes. Finishes that question. Almost done with the assignment. Christos finishes his homework. That's a record. 14 minutes, he just completed 5 assignments. What do you think about that?
Well, you know, Matt, that's really impressive. Not only did he do that, he also got 100 on his pre-cal quiz earlier this week, and that assignment is due in 2 days, so he's staying on top of his work.
Ladies and gentlemen, Caravan fans, welcome to the 4th quarter of this huge matchup between the Caravan and the Roadrunners from Nazareth. Christos was here for the first 3 quarters, calling the game as our color commentator, but now we've got a new face up here in the box. He announced for the first time today during the sophomore game. Let's welcome Brendan Dagler, man. How you doing tonight, Brendan?
I'm doing great. This game is great. It's a very close one.
Close is right. And Nazareth is looking to make it even closer than it is right now. Intercepted by the Caravan. Woo, he's been all over the place tonight. It's number 29, Steven Winkler.
Just scored a touchdown and just got an interception. That's impressive.
That's awesome. He probably wasn't even really, thinking of doing both of those things tonight. Comes on the field, scores a 53-yard touchdown, and then comes right back on the field to get a huge interception. Great job by Winkler there. So now the Roadrunners, they were charging downfield, trying to, it's pretty much impossible for them to tie this game now off of a touchdown. It's essentially, they're 9 points down right now. They're trying to just go down, maybe get 2 or a field goal or something like that, but Winkler stops them in their tracks. Now Elliott is coming back out here. He's got twins left, Q set up in the X, Cooper in the slot. Jack, DT in his backfield. Motions over Cozy. Cozy on the jet sweep. He's just pulled down right away, and that's a tough one.
That is a tough one. A loss of about 3 yards on that one.
Yeah. Loss of yards is not what you need right now. First downs is what we need. We need to chew out this clock and potentially go downfield and score again to really put this one out of reach. Cozy's been doing a solid job tonight. That play just kind of, fizzled out. Here you go. See Winkler on the sideline. I think they're ready to put him back in again, man. Elliott, same formation. Cozy and Lehman switched now. Isn't going to motion anybody, but he will drop back to pass it. Right down the middle, complete to Lehman. Woo. Man, his career started at Neuqua Valley, and that's where he learned how to do just that. He's got hot hands, right? Ball placement was pretty solid, too, by Jack. An even better reception, though. Caravan charging down the field now. 3rd and 1, closer to Roadrunner territory. And getting a first down here. Elliott sets his offense. Cooper and Allen out to his right. Nazareth playing a little man here. Jack gonna keep it. First down and more. Brought down in a dog pile just past the 50. 10 minutes and 21 seconds remain in this game, Brendan. It's gonna be a close finish, I can already tell, but if the Caravan score here on this drive, it might be not so close of a finish as I thought so at halftime.
On those 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2 plays, running the ball, Jack Elliott up the middle is the way to go.
It definitely is.
With how strong he is, powering through that line, we'll get them that first down at least 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I love the way you think, right? I mean, Coach Lynch is gonna go with that play pretty much every time if they're in that 3rd down position. This time, though, he drops back to pass.
He's going deep.
Oh, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Cooper Lehman. He just had a huge catch in their own territory, but now the Caravan trying to charge deep into Roadrunner. Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks ago, Jack was cramping a little bit around this time in the game. Maybe a little later, but it's good to see he's doing healthy now.
Yeah.
We're going to need him if we want to close out this 9-point lead and come away with a win. Elliott motions DT over. Pressure right away from the right side. Elliott just going to roll out. Pass downfield is complete to Cooper. Can he get his second of the game? Yes, he will. Touchdown, Caravan. Score 48, Mount Carmel 33, Nazareth. 9 minutes and 40 seconds remain in the game. Brendan, we're starting to pull away, man. How do you feel?
I feel great. Cooper Layham is having a game tonight.
He is, man.
It's great to see over 200 reception yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's awesome, and not only that, he's having a great game on defense as well. He's come up with a couple of huge stops at DB, so shout out to Cooper. He's having himself a great game. Nico Mullen out for the extra point. to put this one even further out of reach for the Roadrunners. That one is good, just like every single one we've had tonight. 49-33. Interesting game here. You got to think things might be closer if Nazareth would have taken those opportunities in the first quarter and played on them. And now they're stuck here at 33. Caravan they're doing a great job on all. We love to see it. Here we go, Brendan. Fourth quarter situation, 9 minutes, 41 seconds. Nico's going to kick this one off. Here we go. Roadrunners, do they got it? Turned by number 27 again for Nazareth. That is Charles Calhoun. Brought down just past the 20. Nine and a half to go. Ball's on their own 21-yard line. The Roadrunners trying to move down. Brendan, what does it mean to you? You know, 5 years ago, these two schools played against each other in the 7A state championship, and now this is their second meeting of all time. For me, it brings back a little nostalgia, but I don't know for you, you know, if you were keeping up with the Caravan back in 2019.
Back then, I was not,
Yeah.
but I did learn about the game over the past few years that people were talking about it, and how they always, Caravan wanted a rematch against Nazareth and keep their streak alive, because Nazareth in Illinois is always known as a school where J.J. McCarthy went there.
Yeah, they've got a couple of great athletes that have come out of their school, but really their football program took a huge jump back in 2014. That was the first year they ever made it downstate. They ended up winning that game. Since then, they have gone downstate 6 more times, and they lost 2 of them. So they're current back-to-back state champions in 5A. Caravan are back-to-back state champions in 7A. That's going to be a first down for the recent 5A winners.
If Nazareth wants to come back in this game, they're going to have to start playing more aggressive, I think. They need to start throwing the ball downfield more to get those big yards.
You're exactly right, Brendan. Here we go. That defense back out here. Time ticking down. The Roadrunners have got to move quick if they want to tie this one back up, or better yet, take the lead. Malichuk heaves it downfield. That one tipped away by Lehman. Nice job by number 5 for the Caravan defense. Brendan, Cooper has mainly been a receiver past 2 weeks, but now, you know, defensive coordinator Dan O'Brien is including him with this DB group. What do you kind of think of that? It's early on in the season. Our record is 1-1, and we're kind of making big position changes like that.
It just shows how athletic he is and how he can play on the offensive side and the defensive side. They need those kind of guys to make athletic plays so they can be put in a better position to score on offense and defense.
Exactly, and Nazareth has a couple of those guys as well. Pressure, he has to run back to his own end zone, just gonna throw this one away. Oof. Could have been a safety there almost for the Caravan. Then we would have ourselves a very unique score. Time stops just under 9 minutes to go. And now I think we're gonna see seniors make their way out there. See number 34, Jimmy Layden, out there for the Caravan. A couple of seniors have had just very great game tonight. Yeah, Cooper going to be back to return this punt. Boots it way over his head. He's going to let it drop.
Oh.
Picks it up. Finds a gap and hits it. And then he gets hit right away as well. So solid return, though. I mean, they start off in Nazareth territory. What is going on? Here we go. Okay, they got the play call. Taking their time, trying to, keep the clock running. It's stopped right now, but they can kind of hurry up. And then, if they hurry up right now and get a couple of first downs, then they'll just have the ability to take their time, slow down, burn some clock. DT up the middle. About 3 or 4 yards on the play there. Brendan, DT was, really not supposed to be a captain this year, but he worked incredibly hard over the offseason to earn that spot. Were you surprised at all when it was announced he would be not only the starting running back, but also one of the core captains of this team?
No, because like you said, he worked very hard. Working hard shows elements of a captain and a starting caliber player.
I agree, yeah.
If you work hard here, you will be able to earn playing time and be
Definitely.
a leader on this team.
I mean, yeah, we just saw Stephen Winkler. He gets a decent amount of playing time, but after that huge touchdown and interception, he's going to get a lot more. DT was mainly a tight end, so a bit of a switch up this year, but, I mean, he's adjusted quite fine, I'd say. He's got a handful of touchdowns on the ground, so who knows, maybe we'll see another one right here. Elliott. Handoff stuff pretty much right away, not going to be enough for a first down. Okay. They're in Roadrunner territory. Clock is running. They're going to try to bite off as much as they can. Elliott motions over Lehman. That play is blown dead right away. Timeout taken by the Caravan.
Mount Carmel.
That's the first one they're going to take this half. And heading into this timeout, there's just a little under 7 minutes to go in the game. Caravan at 49, Roadrunners at 33.
What the Caravan looks like? Please come down to 6410 South Dante to shadow a current student attending Mount Carmel. Thank you to all of the young men who joined us today. It was great having you on campus. Visit our website to register and learn more.
We're back from that Caravan timeout. Still taking their time to get situated out in the field. Brendan, it's been, this game lived up to its expectations, but I think ultimately what happened is what I thought was going to happen, right? Be close.
Yeah.
Halftime was very close, 28-27, had the ability to be a tie game, but that extra point was blocked. So now we're stuck though at 49-33. The Caravan have pulled away a little bit, and they're looking to do so even right now. It's 4th and 2 at the Roadrunners' 38-yard line. Jack is just going to keep it himself and run out to the left side. He's got the first down and more. Ooh, hard hit on the sideline. No penalty flag is thrown, but man, Jack is just a tough dude.
He is.
Yeah. Let's look at this replay. Yeah. Elliott runs out. It's this contact right here, right? Just that kind of helmet to helmet, upper body to upper body. It's tough to walk away from that as a quarterback.
That's an SEC ball player right there, showing that toughness right there.
Committed to Vandy for a reason. He committed 6 days after he received the offer, so something tells me he was kind of waiting for it. Here we go, number 22 for the Caravan. It's going to be Luca DeRosa. He was out for a while last season because of illness. His older brother, Enzo DeRosa, was a great player for the Caravan just a few years ago. Was actually a captain on a team my freshman year, so 3 years ago. Luca has dealt with some injuries, some illness, but I think it's great to see him back out here. He was kind of in the shadow of Darion Dupree, obviously. Didn't get that much time. We also had Alonzo Manning. So now that he's a senior and there's really nobody in front of him, he's going to get a lot more snaps than he usually does.
Stuff there at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do really about that, running up the middle.
All right, just trying to run up the middle and get this clock moving. The less time Nazareth has to score means, the more likely it is that they will not kind of start a comeback run and start attacking this Caravan lead. Elliott. He's got DT in his backfield. Twins right. Never mind. DT's gonna move over. Elliott alone. Drops back for a pass. There's pressure right away, so he just throws it up high. Touchdown! Caravan, man. That is Daniel Taylor Jr.'s first receiving touchdown of the season. He's got a handful of rushing, but man, it was about time he gets one in the air.
That was a great play call by Coach. He was pretty wide open on that play.
Just wide open. Right at the goal line is when he caught it. Runs in a little bit in the end zone. Scores right. Right now the score is 55-33. Nazareth hasn't scored in quite some time.
That interception earlier in the third quarter, I think really messed up their momentum going in.
It did, yeah. Extra point is good. 56-33 is the score. We're kind of heading into the home run stretch of this one. Started off as a close game, but this seems to be, not a blowout per se, but Caravan starting to run away with it. Well, folks, we had a packed student section earlier in the game, and Quinn Flannery won the raffle. If you don't know, every game day we have a raffle for the students. That one is organized by Christos Demas, the student body president we just had up here in the box calling the game. I know TJ Kolke Jr. also helps out a lot with that. So congrats to Quinn, and nice job by student council to kind of run that smoothly. Talking about running smoothly, the Caravan are smoothing things out here at Barta Dowling. They had a couple of bumps along the road, especially in that first half, but now they're just taking a huge lead over the Roadrunners. Calhoun going to return it for Nazareth. Running it up the middle, gets tripped over. Pretty average return. Brendan, this times like these is just why I love high school football, man. Right? Caravan are up by 20-plus points. They're hopefully going to come out of this one with a win, improve their record to 2-1.
Yes.
What do you got to say about next week, though? Caravan are playing St. Ignatius. Now, for the folks at home, if you don't know, St. Ignatius moved up to the CCL Blue this year, and St. Rita got moved out. So what do you think about the whole conference realignment? Because the CCL Blue is a very respected division within high school football.
Yeah, I don't know if St. Ignatius is ready for this matchup.
Okay.
It's we've seen this Caravan team play them in the past 2 years ago, and it was basically a complete blowout.
Right, yeah, but to kind of counter that point, and 3 years ago they beat us bad, 27-0, right? That's a big blowout that we just couldn't afford at the time. Eventually, like you said, we did go on to kind of return the favor, if you will, We beat them on our way to winning back-to-back state championships. But St. Ignatius, they, the past 2 weeks have been kind of rough for them. We'll see how they can do tonight with their game. And then next week they'll come on out to Barta Dowling. A big rivalry game we played here. We will be calling that one for sure. It is senior night, so I'd like to give a huge shout out to all the seniors up here with the media group, most notably Christos Demas, Leonard Siegel. That's going to be piano. Dominic Mancia is a great member as well, audio producer. Huge shout out to the senior cheerleaders, the seniors on the drum line, the seniors who are trainers and medics, and they help out with everything, Without that leadership from the seniors, we would not be able to have a game day experience like this.
Number 8 on a defense.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty enforcing the previous
Penalty is
spot.
on the defense.
Touchdown.
Obviously, it was kind of thrown in that way. That changes things for sure. It'll now be first down for Naz. Malichuk trying to start a comeback as best he can. Handoff up the middle by number 26 for the Roadrunners, Dylan Wellner. Brendan, as time runs out here, I just want to know, man, how was your kind of first game day experience here calling both the sophomore and varsity game?
It was great. I learned a lot. It's just it feels like my place to be instead of on the field.
There you go. I like the way you word that. It's a pretty big thing. Ooh, incomplete pass or flag. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. Back to you, Brendan. I remember being a freshman calling that first game against Brother Rice.
Number 8 on the defense. 15-yard penalty enforcing the previous spot.
Paying attention to this one. Yeah, that was on JV8. Calling that first game as a freshman, pretty nerve-wracking, but eventually you get into the groove of things.
Yeah.
And man, that's just why I love high school football so much, is because I get to be up here. I have the best view of really anybody. We have the best view right here to just get to talk ball during this kind of 3 hours we have. Jack Elliott tonight, 17 for 25, 416 total yards per passing. Averages about 25 yards per pass, 6 touchdowns. Longest one being 85 yards. That one was Cooper Lehman's first touchdown as a member of the Caravan and first one on the season.
That 6 touchdown stat by Jack Elliott is got to be the most impressive stat we've seen all season yet.
Yes. This is really important to be able to come out here and put 56 points of offense up against a team that is ranked number 6 in the state. Now, I know last week our defense shined, but I really think it was the offense that showed up this Friday.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that blowout against Rita, though, is that's awesome. That shows that our defense is, they're ready for whatever comes their way down the line, whether we're in the 7A or 8A playoffs. They're ready for any team. So. Malichuk. 2 guys in his backfield. Just going to hand this one off. Don't want to risk it or anything, and throw a pick. That would essentially be the end of the game here. So. Bone Crusher is out there. Brendan, is it kind of weird to you that Caleb Tucker, here, let's see, I want to be specific here. 6'4", 330. Brendan, you and him are the same age. Could you imagine being 6'4", 330?
No, I could not.
Yeah.
If I was 6'4", 330, I don't know where I would be.
Probably not up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be down there with Coach Lynch, putting some pressure on quarterbacks in the Catholic League. That's what you'd be doing.
Or even protecting him.
True, yeah. Our O-line is a bit smaller than the ones we've had in past years, but you're definitely right. We've had guys like Big Sam Singleton. I've got a story about him. Ryan Clark, the trainer. Shout out to all the trainers as well. Declan Deering and all those guys. But Ryan Clark, He always says, excuse me, whenever he would have to tape Sam's ankles, it would take him multiple rolls of tape.
Wow.
Multiple, like they would set aside multiple rolls of tape just for Sam. You know, they'd write something down and say, do not touch these, they're for Sam. Come in. I mean, man, you gotta throw on a movie or something, right? Like if you're Sam, you're just sitting there getting your ankles taped. That's gonna be a long time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's off doing great things. Graduated from here a few years ago. Let's see. Ball at the 36. 3rd and 5. Nazareth still they're still in the fight, you know. Maybe a 23-point game, but Brendan, I've seen stranger things happen with 2 minutes left in a football game. So
Agreed.
yeah, something else we should note: Loyola lost today. Not what we expected, Brendan. What do you think of that? Number 9 St. Francis going up against number 4 Loyola at Loyola. This is the Ramblers' first night game ever. They installed some new lights. I don't know. Do you blame it on that, right? That these players
Maybe
they weren't ready for that home kind of feel with the lights and everything. I don't know, but I think it gets to a point where Loyola might have to change the way they prepare for games because whatever they were doing for East St. Louis week 1 and then this Friday night, it didn't result in a win. Didn't go the way they wanted to.
I think the Friday night under the lights at home nerves maybe got to them in that one.
Yeah, they're so used to playing at like 1:30 on a Saturday. You know, they'll go to school Friday, and they'll have a walkthrough after school or just a regular practice. You know, they're not kind of used to playing a game right at 7 o'clock. So
the Nazareth team is slowly creeping towards the end zone here.
They are. Yeah. Oh, we've got an injury on the field for the Caravan. That's Xander Gorman. He's a tough guy though, just gotta limp off and get some help from Vince Cronin. You gotta love that, man. Vince Cronin trying to help his brother out. You love to see it. Now, number 55 has got to run back out there and stop the Roadrunners in the last minute of this game. Still making some substitutions. There we go. The Roadrunners have it in them to score one more touchdown. Will the Caravan stop them here? It is 1st and goal, so they've got some time. Handoff, stopped right away, stuffed. A little past the line of scrimmage. Javi Payne, 8 tackles and 1 interception tonight. No sacks or nothing like that, but still an incredible stat line. You have to see that interception, especially. Let's see.
Interception by Javi was impressive, ripping the ball out of the guy's hands.
Yeah.
Don't see many people do that.
No. I mean, guys like him and Muha are really the only ones where I've seen them just, the receiver will catch it, they'll just grab it out of their hands and run right away. So that's it here from Barta Dowling Stadium. Final score, Mount Carmel Caravan 56 and the Nazareth Academy Roadrunners 33. The Caravan improved their record to 2-1, and next week they're going to take on the St. Ignatius Wolfpack here at Barta Dowling. Folks, thank you so much for watching. Brendan, thank you for filling in for Christos in this last quarter, man. Nice job with the sophomore broadcast. Senior night was incredible for everyone here. Yeah, just a little heads up. Our next soccer game is going to be on the 19th. So they're going to be playing Marmion Academy, and everyone should come to that one. It should be a great one. Hopefully we can beat the Army boys. All right, our next broadcast, going to be a soccer broadcast next Thursday. It's that game against Marmion we just talked about. Check it out here on CBN next Thursday night. Brendan, Leonard, everybody up here in the box, thank you so much for an incredible production tonight. And roll Caravan, and good night, Chicago.